Welcome to an all-new episode of Figure It Out, and I'm going to change my background. There we go. Welcome to an all-new episode of Figure It Out. Okay, quick funny thing. No. When I first put this on and Joel joined, I saw it and said, okay, let me fix it. Then we started talking about coffee, but then a small little faint voice in the back of my head said, you changed it. So I'm like, okay, cool. I changed it. And then I look up at it and I'm like, oh, who was that voice? Who said that back there? Like, who was that? The back of my subconscious was like, bro, you did it. Don't even sweat it. You did it. You changed it. All right. So yes, welcome to an all new episode of Figure It Out. Our last Figure It Out before Christmas. Right? Before Christmas.
Doing my Christmas shopping as we speak, man.
Way to be last minute, Joel.
I will be doing my Christmas shopping Friday at 8 o'clock at a Walgreens. So.
Oh, you're one of those.
So when you guys get scales, when you get candy, when you just get a card, just understand I went crazy.
I went blank.
I went bananas in a Walgreens.
There are, in fact, Christmas cards on their way to you, gentlemen, as we speak. And I think you'll enjoy these. I don't often send out Christmas cards, but I had a great idea this year, so.
Knowing Pete, I can only imagine what that's about to be, so I can't wait. But I want to introduce my co-host, as always, first starting off with Joel. What's up, Joel?
What is good, Juwaan? I'm good.
What's that?
I'm actually feeling a little under the weather. So
you a little sick?
A little bit.
Getting under the weather.
Oh, shut up! No one asked.
So apparently, Joel has his own Jarvis because no one even said the name of the machine for her to start talking. So
all the time, so frustrating.
I'm just picturing Joel say "I love you" to somebody, and it just comes on. I love you too. No one's talking to you, stupid thing. It's like, well, damn, okay.
I try to teach it to say my name right. It refuses to say my name correctly. I'm like,
how does it say it? How does it say it?
It says Joel. I'm like, fuck
I
you.
knew it. Okay. All right, Pete, I'm about to introduce you, but let me just say, me and Joel almost weren't friends. For almost a year and a half. I don't know why, but I could not utter the words Joel. I kept calling him Joel. He kept saying, like, Noel. How do you, Noel? It's like that. And I'm like, my brain just couldn't process taking the N out and putting the J in. So
you're sitting there saying Noel, you're like, but you've got an L at the end of your name. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, you're Noel. You're just Noel. So I'm sure in the back of Joel's head, he just was like, this ain't gonna last. This isn't gonna work. And only 6 happy years later, we are still good friends, and I call him Joel, believe it or not. So there you go. There you have it, you know? And he only calls me piece of shit once in a while. So you know, we got each other's names down. We just got it.
Down pat.
And last but definitely not least, I'm loving that shirt, Pete.
Thank you, man.
Oh,
this was actually this was a Wish purchase, believe it or not.
Wish purchase.
Yeah, man. The fabric is fantastic. It's like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm falling out of it constantly. It's just so smooth and silky. But I do have to say it's like a 6X because if you ever get anything from Wish, them shits is like this big. So just scale up a bit. That's my only word of advice there.
Wish is like, you wish this shit fit you accurately. Like, it's like, yes, we do. Why can't you just make it to where it fits me? It's like, fuck you, that's why. Just buy it. It's like, okay, all right, I'll buy it. All right. We got a few things to get into. We got a fun show prepared for you guys today. We're going to start off with figure talk because SpiderMan No Way Home just dropped. And on this episode, we will be talking about our spoiler reactions of it. The only figure I have to showcase today is none other than, and I just forgot about, no, okay, that should be fine. J. Jonah Jameson. SpiderMan, you menace.
It looks
I
just
love
like him.
the figure.
The
That
balls.
is him.
Yep.
That is him. I put this as far back on my shelf as possible because just looking over and seeing that face is just like, oh my
Sure.
God. Like, where did you come from? Jeez. I do think every time I look at it, he's gonna sell me insurance and then say bum. So that's always fun. But yeah, so I got J. Jonah Jameson, and I am one Spider-Man suit away from completing Armadillo.
Hey.
Who are you missing?
Actually the black suit Spider-Man. When he turns it inside out. Yeah, when he turns it
right.
out. Yeah.
Black and gold.
Black and gold. You're right. Let me be specific so people don't think.
I'm like Venom.
Right, not the symbiote suit.
Yeah, no. It's the inside out suit when he turns it inside out. But spoiler alert, by the way. We're not to the spoiler reactions yet, but spoiler alert.
You didn't figure it out by yourself at this point.
Right, but to be fair, we didn't really give any crazy information away. He just flips it inside out. Like that's
it looked like that.
Right.
Fair.
It did, because when you see like the stuff sticking out, it's like that doesn't look normal. Something's weird about that. But yeah, so Armadillo's just missing his leg, and then he's complete, and I have that whole set.
Sweet.
Oh, whoa, we're gonna get flagged for an upskirt, man.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know, it's crazy on the SheHulk figure. I was trying to get it to do like an action pose, and I noticed like her shirt part. You know how usually they mold it down, so it's just molded. Right. It lifts to show boob, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, obviously there's no like nipple or anything there, but it still was weird. I'm like,
push up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, why didn't you just meld this down? Why did you
like the whole shirt? Like, how far does it lift up? You know, for science.
Yeah. Okay, so
we're never gonna see.
You guys know
it's automatically censored because of the background. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I can't show you, but it lifts.
His blue shirt don't help either.
It lifts. Let me see. Yeah, I can't really show you guys. I'm gonna put it in the group chat though. You're gonna scare the hell out of Joe and JD. You're like, what the fuck is that?
The Invisible Woman.
Toy titties.
Pete, did you get anything new?
I did. This was kind of like this is a problem with Christmas shopping with me. Is half the time I see shit for myself and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get it, because nobody can actually get you toys and comics and stuff unless you get very specific. And I don't like to do that because I don't like to be surprised. I don't like to tell people, oh, get me this for Christmas. I don't know, that defeats the purpose for me. So I understand, and I'm a pain in the ass to shop for. So I just do it mostly for myself. But I caught a very fantastically lonely auction on eBay, and I picked up the Toy World Devastator. This is actually Constructor, but this is two of them. Devastator is the one combiner that is actually 6 pieces. Oh,
Jesus.
And these are the beautiful thing about the Toy World one and the Zeta Bruticus that I had the other week is these are all full-on like 10-inch masterpiece scale Transformers. So when he's built, he's a big boy. He's about almost 2 feet tall. And this guy had all of like the extra accessories if you want to go like super cartoon accurate, which I don't really like to do because it just kind of, it makes the color scheme just bland, you know? Like this cartoons didn't have too much in the way of like different color palettes and stuff. So like, why would you want to make, you want it to look a bit different, but it also came with the alternate head, which I really do like, and the head's light up. It's got an alternate mouth and everything. So I am very excited to get some room in the basement to build this bastard. I've been wanting this for a while. I did pick up, and I still will highly recommend if somebody out there wants to get themselves some Transformers but don't want to shell out the money for a Toy World Constructor or the Zeta Bruticus or anything. I think it's Weijang. They make a oversized Shit. Now let me just really quickly look at so I can give you guys the proper name.
Voice.
So I will. So why Pete does that? I will speak for Pete and say that once these things are built, they're built.
Yeah. Oh no, they are not coming down at all. At all.
100%.
Why the hell can I not find the actual name of this blast? Jinbao. That was it. That was it.
Okay.
Jinbao makes a really fantastic, super detailed Devastator. They make a Predaking. They also make a Bruticus. And yeah, I still got the Predaking. I haven't even built him downstairs yet because they have not actually made. Zeta was making a Predaking, but they stalled on it. So waiting patiently on that one, but it's not full on masterpiece scale. So it's, you lose about 3 to 4 inches, but it's still a really fantastic figure, and it's only like $100. So they were my first combiners going masterpiece scale, and they look fantastic. So highly, highly recommended. And again, like I wouldn't go picking them up and shaking them all about, but you pick them up, you just kind of cradle the feet, and they stay together very well.
You'll be good. Yeah. That's how a lot of figures work. Don't go messing. Don't go messing with it. Don't do that. But no, I like that.
Super happy with these.
I like that. And as you're naming them, I was telling Joel, they're starting to take the really cool names and use it for tragedies and variant names. So Transformers, be careful, okay? Because when I first heard Omnicron, I was just like, whoa, hold on. I'm like, whoa. Megatron did nothing to you people. Don't you dare use his name for this pandemic. And they're just like, no, Omnicron. I'm like, okay, all right. Thought you said Megatron. I'm like, all right, you could blame him for a lot, but not this. I'm like, wait, Unicron? No? Okay, still wrong. All right, got you.
It demands the meme. It's Unicron! Run! Get to the ships!
I'm telling you, when they named this disease, somewhere Optimus Prime just turned on and was like, where am I going? It's like Optimus. No, we didn't say Megatron. He's just, okay, I thought I heard it. Sorry. All right, let's move on. I will say one quick thing. I am with Pete. It happens every time I do Christmas shopping to where I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm getting for blah, blah, blah. And then I go, I just told Joel, and we're going to talk about this a little later with some of our Spider-Man spoiler talk. But when Joel messaged me and told me those Doctor Strange figures, he sent me that wave of Pete, I already pre-ordered them all.
Nice.
All of them. Every last one. And each time I did it, I was just like, well, this person won't get a Christmas gift. That person won't get a Christmas gift. They're going to go, what happened, Juwaan? Was it rough or something? No, I just decided to pick me. I picked me. That's it. That's all.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I looked at you, looked at me, and then decided I deserve to be happier than you are. So decisions were made at the end of the day. It's just what happened. But really,
actually, I was actually thinking of Joel just last night, and I didn't realize that sounds fucking creepy. But as I was doing some self-Christmas shopping, I came across again on Big Bad Toy Store. NECA has a whole slew of new RoboCop toys that are coming out.
That would be a reason to think of Joel for sure.
Yeah, they got an 8209. They got a whole new RoboCop. Comes in like the chair and shit.
But
definitely worth checking out.
Just to be on the safe set, in case there's any fans out there that's like, yeah, Joel does deserve something special. He's only a fan of the reboot RoboCop. So get him all things.
I'm a very positive person. That movie was not good.
Wait, I'm just picturing a fan saying, Joel, I'm so excited. I got you this RoboCop. And you're just like, oh my God, thank you. You open it and you see the reboot suit. You're just like, oh, I don't know how to tell you. I don't fucking want this. Like, you gotta take this back.
I mean, it was a cool design, but he looked so thin in it, and like, I don't know. It was no.
The only thing that upset me the most about that movie was you chose to get some of the best actors you possibly could to make that horrible of a movie. I told you I still enjoyed it for what it was because, again, I loved the choice of casting. But at the end of the day, it was just like, oof.
It was watered down. That's all it was. No music.
Watered down is a good term.
That's exactly no music. It's rated R. I don't know if you watched the original RoboCop, but that's fucking gory as fuck.
Right. I like that you said it like that, Joe. You know, I'm gonna start saying that for remakes instead of like that shit was horrible. Like, bro, it was just watered down. It was watered down. That's it. That's all it was. That's all it was. But all right, guys, this episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. With cuffing season right around the corner, you're gonna want to satisfy your lady, and now you can with Blue Chew, which is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is very simple. You sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and are prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. With Blue Chew, men everywhere are excited to see the postman because when your package has arrived, your package has arrived. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code GVN at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. $5 for shipping. That's it. That's bluechew.com, promo code GVN to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details on important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. I want us to get into our Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler breakdown. Anyone who has not seen No Way Home, you're clearly not human. You must be a Skrull. Please go out and see this movie. It's phenomenal. But fast forward through, excuse me, if you have not seen it and do not want to be spoiled, giving you a few minutes while I vamp up and just keep saying words. All right, let's get right into it. Pete, me and Joel have talked about this movie at nausea. So I'm going to start off with you, and then we'll just work off of wherever you go in your breakdown of it. But I do want to say this as I pass it to you, because me and Joel had to talk about this. Someone had said on our live breakdown that they disliked this movie because it was too much fan service. Pete, when you hear that, what does your brain even compute to? And then please go into your thoughts on the movie.
Too much fan service. I don't understand. That's like saying you have too much of a good thing.
Right.
Like you've reached the point where you just can't be happy anymore. You're just one of those comic fans that nothing will please you. Like I don't know. You're just a miserable old coot, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was just when I heard it, I was just like, I blacked out. Like I was telling Joel, I was yelling at people on our panel that felt the same way. And you know, I don't yell, I don't get angry, but I just blacked out because I'm just like, what kind of bah humbug shit is that?
I'm just like, I'm thinking like what I can possibly even compare that statement to make it reasonable in my own head. And everything that I can think of just makes me turn against that statement even more. Like I'm just watching, the pizza guy putting the mozzarella on. It's like, no, stop. It's entirely too much.
It's too much. And it's like, well, does it taste nasty? No, it tastes good, but I can't handle too many good things at once, sir.
I can't have it taste that good. Like it's Christmas Eve morning, it's Christmas Day morning, and I'm 6 years old, and I'm opening all of my presents, and I'm like, I've got so many GI Joes, I can't possibly want any vehicles.
You got to give some of these away. This is just too much. Too much.
Another one. Yeah.
I don't want Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and a fucking aircraft carrier, which I didn't get, but still. So that would not have been too much of a good thing.
But yeah, Pete, I sat with that for a few days, and I was just like, I don't understand. Because I'm like, there hasn't been an Avengers type of movie that has not been anything but fan service. So I'm like, have you just been sitting back since 2000 and what? What was the first Avengers? 2010? 2012, and just say, oh, no, I don't like any of that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And just like, I don't understand. They've been nothing like the first Avengers movie, Cap, Iron Man projecting off of Cap's shield That's fan service. Calling Hawkeye Legolas, that's fan service. Banner using a version of "You Won't Like Me When I'm Angry," that's fan service. Him going to pick up Mjolnir, that's fan service. I like that whole movie was just nothing but fan service. So I'm like, did you just sit there and just go, "Oh, give me my money back"?
It's like watching Cap pick up the hammer at the end of Endgame, and you're like, it's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't need that. It's just like,
why wasn't he dressed like U.S. agent instead?
Right. How come no one called him Nomad? I call bullshit. It's just like I don't understand. But Pete, go into your thoughts on the actual movie.
It's funny to me that we only just, was it last week or whatever it was, that we went through like our favorite Spider-Man movies, and this one came in and completely unseated them all. I sat there like a little kid. I loved every moment of this. I laughed, I cried tears of joy, I cheered my ass off. That is, to me, one of the best things about going to an opening day crowd is you're there with so many like-minded people, and like they're like when Homeboy's making a little portal, which was cool in itself. Like he's just learning to use a sling ring and shit, and like they open the portal. Where's Peter Parker? And Andrew Garfield looks back. Everybody just went nuts in the theater. And like you know damn well what's coming next. You know he's not going to find Tom Holland. The next portal is going to be Tobey Maguire. Did that stop people from cheering and getting excited like they didn't know it was coming? No, of course not. They fucking loved it. It was fantastic. The little things, like them saying, you're like, well, it defeats the purpose of a secret identity, or whatever the hell the line was. Like little things like that. Even to a point, they didn't get the scene exactly the same, but like the pointing and everybody, like even that was in there, for the love of God.
Yep.
It was closer up, but I mean, shit, it was all there. And hearing Willem Dafoe after 20 years still switch on that voice of like, he's crazy again. You hear it. You can hear it. How do you guys not hear it? I can hear it, and I'm all the way over here. Why do you guys not realize he's crazy again?
Switch turn.
Yo, it's I would have liked, like, if I'm gonna be nitpicky, I would have liked them to acknowledge an Uncle Ben's existence in this world and not just like he never was there. Like at the end, I would have liked to see May Parker's grave next to Uncle Ben's. I think that would have been cool. And again, like that's one. And the only other thing, and again, it's me being nitpicky, is as Peter's like, he's in his new apartment and he's taking stuff out and whatnot. I would have really liked to see a little bit of a stinger scene or something where he goes to the Daily Bugle and asks for a job of like shooting video or taking pictures of Spider-Man.
So I want to speak to those two things.
We do that online now.
I know, that's what I tried. I like reasoning like they don't really need it.
Speaking of which, Joel, remember how we were talking about Betty Brand? We were trying to figure out like what she does work for the Daily Bugle. She's in charge of their social media. We were trying to figure out like what would Betty Brandt's job in the Daily Bugle be if it's purely virtual, right? She's the head of their social media, so she was doing stuff on like their TikTok or whatever. So I'm like, okay,
that explain why she looks like Gwen and not like Betty.
right. Yeah, I think that might be a cue to we probably won't see Gwen. Liz will probably come back before we ever see Gwen. And to your other point, the writers of Homecoming were very specific on they had no interest in utilizing Uncle Ben whatsoever.
Is it the same writers? That's like continuing?
That's what I was just about to say. So either that was a John Watts sign off with Kevin Feige okaying it, or it's the same writers and they were just maintaining the idea of we just don't have any interest in using Uncle Ben. I was telling Joel my rationale to it, and again, I don't know anything. This is just me theorizing. Was that Uncle Ben died when Peter was like 6 or 7, maybe 5, 6 or 7. So he was super young. Excuse me. So the relationship he had with Uncle Ben, he wasn't able to grow it yet. So if you then put in Uncle Ben, people are then going to go, well, that line had to have been said by Uncle Ben, right? And they were trying to hammer home the Uncle Ben moment will be Aunt May. So if we utilize Uncle Ben in any respect, it's going to be hard for people to believe he didn't say it before he died. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as May said it, I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah,
Shit.
100%.
And I did not see that coming at all.
She
Even
played
after
that
the
off
fucking
really
glider
well.
hit her. Like, I'm like, oh, she's okay. Good.
Yeah.
And then to your other point, because me and Joel actually were talking about that, I think it would have been forced for Peter to go into anything photography, only because he had just never really expressed any interest in anything photography. So I'm like, it makes more sense that he goes to do some kind of scientific work. Like,
I would have even taken like a quip to that, like, hey, you want to? I can take pictures of Spider-Man for you. And Jameson's like, what are you, nuts? This is all digital. We don't need a picture. We don't have a photographer. Get out of here. Like something like that. Like,
I really do hope that they go the route of the Spider-Man video game, where he tries to do some kind of work scientifically. Because it fits more with this Peter.
Maybe Horizon Labs, but maybe they'll go that angle and put that in.
Maybe, yeah. Because I'm like, look, just because we don't have an Osborn in the MCU doesn't mean we never will. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he could work there. I just want him.
We're clearly going to have an Eddie Brock in the MCU. There's a reason that thing is behind.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that because me and Joel, we were trying to figure out, like, what do you do? So we're gonna get to that because I want us to talk about that end credit scene and then the strange one. But what else did you like of the movie? Was there anything else that kind of bothered you a little bit?
I don't think anything else bothered me. Even the lack of a sixth member of the Sinister Six, I was not offended by. I was hoping that there would be, but I'm like, all right, like it's good where we are. Right. And like, you know, I liked where the story went. I liked the way that Doc Ock kind of helped them at the end and everything, and how he, once the arms, the tentacles were shut off, and he was just like, oh God, it's quiet. I never thought I'd only hear my own voice in here. Like that was cool. And I thought they were just gonna like put him right back when Electro fried him. He's like, I liked you better the other way. And like all of a sudden, like, oh, he's crazy again. But like that didn't happen. I thought it did. I liked like trying to figure out who's who, and Doctor Strange is like, they're all coming through now, and you're looking in like the shiny bits. Is like I know I saw Kraven and I know I saw Rhino. Yeah. I'm like, who else is in there? And I need to see it again just to like take a look at all of that shit. I love the fan service scenes of like the three of them swinging, and like the whole moonlight scene where they're all like doing different little spider poses and they'll land and shit.
Yeah, I mean, what made that scene even doper was the fact that they were swinging off of Tom's web. So he launches the web, and then he's on top, and then they're swinging off of him. I was like, oh, bro, the attention to detail, that's beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. Like, that's awesome. I love that.
It is that. It's that attention to detail, like the banter between the three of them, where like they're like, those webs came out of you? Like, how do you do that? Like, like, does it come out of anywhere else? Like, these are questions we all asked being like dopey kids when we saw this shit. And like, just, and Andrew Garfield being worried that he was like the worst Spider-Man, and like actually like going like, no, you're not. You're great. You're amazing. Right. And like,
say it.
Yeah, it was just so fucking good. Every part of that was exactly what I needed to see. And even like, it made sense for Sandman to be like kind of fighting with them. Like, even like he just wanted to go home. He just wanted to get the thing back to go and see his daughter.
I just didn't understand. I guess to a
hey,
point,
Joe.
I didn't understand.
Oh.
Joe, it's Joe.
Whoa.
I just didn't understand once he saw his Spider-Man why that didn't kind of just ring things home. Like, bitch, I could have killed you. I didn't. I let you live. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? So I did think that was a little, like, that would have been awesome if you had a moment where both he and Doc Ock were kind of just like, okay, I remember now. Like, I remember now. You specifically aren't the enemy, and I just want to go home. That's where you're trying to send me. So I did think that was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm fine with it, but he should have seen Toby Spider-Man and then just said, oh, all right, yeah, you were the guy I was looking for. Cool. All right, you're here. Send me home. Like, and then Peter would have been like, I'm trying. You got to stop trying to kill me, and I will gladly send you the fuck home. So I did think that was a little weird. But to your point of the lack of a sixth member, as I'm going through this movie, it's just like, yeah, I don't see where they would do it. Like, as you just progress through the movie, you're just like, there's just been no movement of any kind of sixth member. So you start to kind of go, this is good. And I appreciate there not being a sixth member because it gave Willem Dafoe a chance to really stretch his legs as his Goblin. So I was like, okay, that's a fair trade-off. So we were just like, hey, no Sinister Six, but don't you remember how much you love Willem Dafoe? And we're like, yeah, okay.
The addition of the purple hoodie and everything to really kind of complement and offset that hideous green costume.
Yep.
That worked very well.
By the way, that had to be a Feige decision where when Willem was like, yeah, I'll gladly come back. Guess what? You do not have to worry about being in that green piece of shit. Like, we're going to destroy it almost immediately. Amy, you won't be blue. We are going to destroy that blue almost immediately. And they were both just like, thank you. Thank you very much.
On the subject of blue, I think, truly one of my favorite parts was right at the end, seeing the classic costume, the absolute classic costume. And it being believable enough, like, yeah, a kid could have sewn this together. Unlike, Tobey Maguire's costume looked all fancy and like, looked like the ribbing and shit and the spider like all embossed. It's like, no. Like, you clearly got that shiny ass blue fabric down on like 27th and 7th in the fashion district because that is ostentatious.
No, I love that. And I'm with you. And I even love the little detail of him rigging his phone so that he can hear the police scanners. I'm just like, I love that. I really do love it.
The game did that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I love that. Because to me, it's just like, that makes so much sense. Like, no one steals a police radar or a police scanner. No one does that. I can just rig my phone. Right. So I love the attention to detail of that. Pete, I want you to get into, because we talked about all the really cool stuff. I want you to talk more about some of the more emotional scenes that we got from this movie.
You want me to cry, don't you?
I do.
I mean, it almost got me when Aunt May died because I did not see that coming. I am so fucking glad that I signed off the internet for 3 days because I was talking to a friend of mine the day of. Like, she was going at 3:30, I went at 3, and we were talking about like 11 o'clock or so. She's like, I just had something spoiled for me in the comments. I was like, why did you not take my advice? Follow my lead and get the fuck off the interwebs because this shit is going to happen. There's just going to be jerk offs, whether they're doing it on purpose to be dicks, because I had that happen in with Endgame, and I'm glad, thankfully, I saw it really before anyone else did. So, all right, it got spoiled for me, the Thanos fade away, the dusting. Somebody like had a gif of it and they posted it in the fucking comments. I'm like, you dick. Like, and I looked who it was and I'm like, this guy is just clearly not he would not give a fuck if I told him you're an asshole and you should just like walk into traffic or something. Like, this is probably what he planned to do. Right.
He would go, yep, I am an asshole and I'm actually currently in traffic.
Right after bringing a fucking AR-15 to his school, because he looked like one of those assholes. Like, so like I told her, like, yo, just get away from the internet. Like, I had no idea that any of this was going to happen. We knew about Toby and Andrew. We were hoping against hope for Charlie Cox, and that scene paid off perfectly.
Yes, it did.
Perfectly.
Yes, it
did. The brick catch was just cool. As you like to say, that was fucking great. But like, honestly, like the one that really got me the most was, and we knew it was coming too, because like the trailer set it up, and knowing what we know of these movies, everything was set up when Andrew went and caught MJ when she was falling because Peter missed her. I mean, got hit with the glider, and he was like, "No!" And like he almost starts crying, and she's just like, "What?" And I'm sitting there like, "Got her. Good for you." Like that one got me. Like that was one of those like, tears of joy kind of moments. And like also when when he's beating the snot out of Norman Osborn and he tries to stab him with the glider and Toby catches it. And he's like, no, like you're better than this. And I'm sitting there like, oh, this motherfucker going to kill Toby. Damn it. And he almost did. And I'm like, fuck, man, stop it. Stop that.
It's like I can't taking all of this.
Seriously. But it was pretty great at the end. Like, you okay? It's like, yeah, I've been stabbed a bunch of times.
Yeah, I've been stabbed before. It's cool. It's fine. No, but I want to give a lot of credit to Marissa Tomei. Because we're not talking enough about her. Not us. I just mean collectively. That was an amazing acting job because she really played it off when Peter's like, all right, get up. And you do think like, oh, she's just hurt. Because like the building did kind of blow up right in front of her. So you're like, she's hurt. So when he picks her up and then she just is just falling, you're just like, oh, no. Like in that scene, I thought Happy was going to die. And I was so ready to just go, oh, it's fucking Happy. But when you see her fall, and then he's just like, no, May. And then like he removes his hand and it's so much blood down there. Oh man, I was just like, oh, you can't do this. You can't take Aunt May. What else does he have? That's the one constant in Peter's life is Aunt May. And now he has nothing. I was like, oh, and she delivers. She really delivers in that scene. Yep. She's like, she's so out of breath. She's like, it's all right. Come on, let's go. And he's like, all right, come on. And he's like, why are you not walking? And then she drops. And it's like, oh no. So yeah, I love, and a lot of people feel as though you didn't get much from Aunt May in these 3 movies, but you really do. You really do. Because she's come so far. Because if anyone remembers in Homecoming, she was so against Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. She was so against Spider-Man. That's why for the movie to end the way it does is just so good. It's where she's like, what the fuck? And then you get the black screen. And then in Far From Home, she's just so okay with it. She's telling them, take the suit with you. Yeah. I threw it in there for you. Like, I do love the progression of Aunt May. Because it does hurt when we finally see her die. And Stark would have been very upset to see that too. God damn. They don't make many hot aunts like that. Like, geez. No. Like, come on. Like, he would have been like, take Happy. Don't take Aunt May. The hell, Happy? What are you doing sitting in the car? Go in there and die. Yeah, and then obviously the scene where MJ. Oh, that's what I want to ask you, Pete, before we head into the end credit scenes. Were you feeling? Because I did feel like because we're ending this chapter, it was a little bit forced. Because at this point we had just gotten over it. How did you feel when they showed her her prison well, not her prison photo, her arrested photo, and it says Michelle Jones Watson? Like, how did you feel
that?
You appreciated it?
Yeah, I like the last name thing, and I like that addition of I don't use my last name. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't use Watson.
Right.
Because if I remember correctly, and I think I learned this in the animated series, her dad's a dick.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. So I actually like that. Like, we got to learn a little bit more about her than we knew before.
Yeah, I only was just, I guess, somewhat dismissive of it because I remember when they had first announced that she's not going to be Mary Jane, like Mary Jane. And it, right. No, right. But it took a while to accept that, she is MJ, just not Mary Jane. So I've accepted it this entire time. And I feel like you bringing that back reminds me of all the reasons why I still don't know why you didn't just call her Mary Jane. So when I saw it, I'm just like, but I was okay with Michelle Jones. Like, I was fine with it. Why add that?
You still mentioned Michelle Jones, in my opinion. So
right. No. It didn't change anything. It was just one of those things where it's like when you accept something being changed so drastically, and then they remind you of how you felt when you first found out.
Are you saying that is too much fan service? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not at all. Not because look, they were obviously trying to be so different with this Spider-Man take, right? For so many different reasons. And that was just one of the ones I just never understood. And I've never heard them explain why. So then when I heard that line, I was just like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Makes sense. And then what you said, Pete, of her dad being a dick, it makes sense. Watson is probably his name, and she's just like, well, fuck.
Right. And she went with her mom's name.
Right. She's like, fuck. I'm gonna go with mom's last name. And it's like, all right, fuck you too.
Well, in the first in Tobey's Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst's dad was a dick.
Right, right.
Yes,
Oh.
But she had no interest in changing her name. She just, well, fuck it, I'm Mary Jane Watson. Well, I guess that's.
You didn't even
That's
change
just who
what
I
you
am.
tried to play. Here, it's still Mary Jane Watson.
Yep.
I will say, rewatching Homecoming, Zendaya is what she brings to Michelle Jones is so fucking awesome. When they're in the gym practicing for their big tournament, and they go, Peter, you're canceling? And she goes, yeah, he's already canceled 2 other classes. And everyone just looks at her like, what the fuck? And she's just like, I don't stalk him. I just, find it curious. And it's just like, no, there's something. So it does lend to everyone who is asking, like, did she only like him because she found out he was Spider-Man? Clearly not. She was stalking the shit out of that boy. There was nothing Peter did. Like, every time he would breathe, he would look up and she's there. And he's just like, why are you here? When they were at the lunch table.
When they walked in the prom and she gave him the finger. I'm like,
yeah, that was great.
She 100%. I mean, even just something as simple as when he was staring at Liz, and then he goes, "Is this weird?" And then she goes, "Yeah, it's totally weird." And they look up and they're like, "Where did you come from?" Like, and she's like, "I'm here because I don't have any other friends." And it just lets you know she considers them friends and she likes Peter. So that was. Now, don't get me wrong. Finding out he's Spider-Man was a cherry on top. Like, oh, you got to be my boyfriend. Like, before I was just like, we can go slow, but now you got to be my boyfriend. You're Spider-Man? Oh, hell yeah. All right, so let's get to this, Pete. Let's get to the Eddie Brock end credit scene, right? I know a lot of us are really hoping they weren't going to do what they did. We were really hoping it would just end as simply as, let's go find this Peter Parker. Boom, black screen. Rest of the credits, right? So how did you feel seeing him go, but leaving a little bit of him here?
My first thought was that was pretty funny. Why? Wait, we just got here, and then they leave. That was pretty funny. I honestly think that was like Kevin Feige just extending his all-powerful infinity gloved hand, saying, "All right, we're gonna do Venom, but I'm going to do Venom." Like, and now it's just this starts a whole. This is a whole new world. That symbiote can go find Peter Parker, give him the costume, and we can get an actual Venom story. I honestly really hope that there's no plans to recast. I like Tom Hardy as Venom. I really do. And from what I understand, from what my buddy Mikey Sutton was telling me, there is no plans to recast. And it's gonna be a little while because it's probably gonna take a movie or 2 before we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, what Kevin did reminds me of trying to go to like a really big name club with your girlfriend and the bouncer stops you but brings her in. Then you just go, no, we're together. And just, no. She gets in. You got to stay out here. You're just like, what the fuck? So Kevin was telling Amy, no. Some of him can be here. He could not be here. Like, you got to take your ass.
Whatever the fuck you're doing stays over there.
And I swear, Kevin did that because in the back of his head, he remembers that interview with Amy where she's just like, yeah, no. Venom is part of the MCU. And he's just standing at her like, bitch, what the fuck? He remembered that moment and he remembered it and said, no. You're going home. Sorry.
You sounded like the TikTok voice. Like, no.
But I am with you. I don't think they're gonna recast. I think what Kevin just wants is for Amy to finish up Venom's story, and then you just find a way to loophole it to where you either say Eddie Brock looks just like that Eddie Brock here.
It's Eddie Brock, yeah.
Whatever you decide to do, right? But you need to finish that story off and throw all that in the garbage, and then you can bring them here, and it makes perfect sense.
And I would change the voice. It's one thing I hope they do. I don't know if you guys like the voice in Venom. I can't stand it.
I don't mind it.
I love it.
I hate it.
I don't mind it. I honestly, now that when I found out that Tom Hardy did that voice and they just chopped it up and whatever, I kind of don't want to see him just. Because I'm like, that's a waste. You get an actor of that caliber and you're just using his body. Like, I don't think I like that. I think I like the idea that you were splicing his voice to kind of make it Venom's, Because Because I'm like, if it was any other actor, I'm like, hell yeah, just call Tony Todd, tell him to voice Venom, and then boom, we're good.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy did a buddy cop movie with his damn self.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson did the same thing.
Well, yeah, Woody did too.
Yeah.
I didn't see the new one. I'll wait until it's free on like HBO or something.
No, I will say this, Pete. I checked it out, and it is better than whatever you thought it would be. It is. No, I'm not saying it's phenomenal. It's all time. It's just better than whatever you thought it was gonna be. I'll just say that. So if you thought it was gonna be straight up poopy, it's better than poopy. It's better than poopy.
It's just poopy, not straight up poopy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is worth watching, and I'm glad I watched it before this.
But I enjoy it. I enjoy it as much because I do like the interaction between the two of them and the voice. If it wasn't for that, I probably would hate it. So I understand if you don't like the voice, you probably hate everything.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about the first Venom. That's why I still haven't seen the second one. I thought the first Venom was way too comedic for me.
This one's just as bad then.
I know. That's why. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can't.
It only gets funnier.
I got that from the trailer. I got that from the trailers, and then the reviews I read. The reviews basically said the same thing. You know, if you don't like the first one, you're not going to like the second one.
I will say though, I don't know why we ever thought it was going to be darker. Because it was. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
I said if it's not ours, it's never going to be as dark.
Right. But look, I enjoy what he brings in. Him voicing it himself adds another layer of an internal strife. So it makes that even more appealing, knowing that you're essentially fighting with yourself, because the symbiote is like, it's in you. So you're essentially just fighting with yourself. So to know that you're your own voice is pretty cool. So if they do bring him back in, the only thing I want them to fix is I don't need him as tall. I'm fine with the height. I would like him a little bit wider, and then of course more comic accurate with the white
spider.
Right. So it's not much, if anything, I want them to fix about.
That's the only thing I want is the white spider. I think they did everything else for.
Oh, and a Spider-Man in the film too.
Yeah, that's usually important. Please.
Why put him in the MCU if he's not gonna be with Spider?
100%. It's it'd be like, I'm sorry. Why would you double down on what we don't like? Why would you do that? That'd be Kevin's way of saying, all right, you didn't like it there, so I thought if I just brought him here, you would like it. Will he interact with Spider-Man? No.
Will it be in a Spider-Man solo film, or will it be in a possible Secret Wars, like the traditional way? That's where he gets it. And if we get Secret Wars, imagine him doing it there. I mean,
well, we know we're getting Secret Wars. Anytime you hear the Russo brothers,
to what extent is the question really? Like, you know, to what level are we getting Secret Wars? Yeah,
it depends.
Is it going to be like the traditional '84 ones? Is it going to be the newer concept with like God Doom? I mean, they could go anywhere with it and just call it Secret Wars by fucking name alone.
Probably what it's going to be.
Do you think so? You think in Secret Wars he's going to bond with the suit? And then in the solo film, we'll get Venom.
Could be.
Yeah.
That does make more sense because
that would make more sense.
Well, I could see them giving him the suit maybe towards the end of that, and then him utilizing it in his next movie, and then viewing it as too much, and then when he removes it, it finds its way to Eddie, and then that's the strife of the next one is Peter Parker versus Venom Eddie Brock.
And by that point, we might even have Reed Richards to help him.
True.
Well, 100% have Reed Richards by that point.
Yeah.
Reed Richards is within the next 2 to 3 years, and Spider-Man's probably 3.5, 4 years away. But Secret Wars, Pete, I think will be as accurate as it possibly can because you have everything. You have everything you need for Secret Wars to be accurate. And it looks like the Russo brothers are going to be doing Secret Wars. Well, they said when they left Endgame, that if they came back, they would want to do Secret Wars. Yeah. And then we heard the rumor of them coming back. So we have to assume those go lock in step.
That's the one that they're coming back for. Right.
So we also get the end credit scene of Doctor Strange. And we talked about this, which is awesome. We talked about, wouldn't it be cool if Doctor Strange's trailer was just at the end of Spider-Man? We literally talked about this because we said it would make the most sense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just release the trailer, you're assuming by that point the whole world saw the movie.
I got
it makes more sense to reward the people that actually did see the movie by giving them the trailer. What were you saying, Joe?
Let me ask you this though. So the second time I seen it, right? The guy next to me, after we got the second, the teaser, the trailer, whatever, as the second end credits thing, he started, dude, he was fucking pissed. What he kept, this is exactly what he said. This is bullshit. This is lazy. Just giving us a trailer. Did you guys respect the trailer? Do you like the fact that we got a trailer? Did you want something else?
I don't even conceivably know what else I would have.
I don't know what he was saying, but he was basically saying that this was lazy and it was just basically, I don't know what he was expecting. I don't know what he was
expecting. Yeah.
I didn't speak to him.
I can't really speak more to that because I have no idea what he was expecting. And I'm not asking you, I'm just thinking, was he expecting a scene?
I was expecting a scene. Madness? I know I was expecting not a scene of but in the mouth not in the Mouth of Madness. What
Multiverse of Madness?
Multiverse of Madness in the Mouth.
In the Mouth
of Madness?
That was a different movie.
For sure, yeah.
That's an actual movie in the 90s.
Yes, it is. Fantastic flick too.
Is it like Debbie Does Dallas, or is
no? It's the guy from Jurassic Park.
I thought it was
Dr. Grant. No, I don't know what he was thinking, but I was expecting a scene. I just didn't know what it was. I was caught off guard that it was a trailer, and I told you, maybe if I would have known what the trailer was about, with the exception of Doctor Strange 2, I thought it was a little underwhelming because I didn't know what the hell I was seeing. But I wasn't expecting anything from Doctor Strange 2. I don't think. I don't know what I was expecting.
I 100%, because we talked about it.
Yeah,
was hoping that that's what we got.
Maybe a setup. Yeah, I think I would have been okay with the scene. I don't know if I wanted a trailer.
I'm glad I got a trailer because I kept saying this movie originally, till we heard that they pushed it, was supposed to come out in March.
Yeah.
So I remember saying, because that's the whole conversation we had. If it comes out in March, why are you waiting to give a trailer? Because you could absolutely give a trailer that doesn't spoil No Way Home.
What's the new release date now? It's May or something?
May. Yeah, it's in May. It's in May. So it makes sense that to them, this is your teaser trailer. You'll get probably around when Moon Knight comes out, your first official trailer. And then, it'll lead right up to May. So I'm fine with that. And I love that I have no fucking idea what I saw in that trailer. I love
this. This is a pretty major detailed trailer. I mean, you got
it was. It was. To me, I love that I looked at this and I kept saying to myself, and me and Joel talked about it after, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know what's going on.
The other big thing is too, like I was talking to my friend Frank about it, and he liked the trailer. Don't get me wrong, but he said he's actually less. He wasn't really. I forgot what he said. He said he couldn't wait to see it, but he's actually less anticipating the movie because of the trailer. And another thing, though, too, and I don't know if a lot of other people that feel this way who haven't seen What If. If you haven't seen What If, there's a lot of things in that trailer you're not going to understand what the fuck is going on.
Well, that sounds like their problem. Feige makes it very clear. You need to watch everything.
What If is canon? Like, why are you not watching it?
Watch everything. I don't put anything out that you skip.
Who out there thinks that they're above cartoons at this age?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Feige makes it very clear. Everything I put out, you need to watch.
Damn it, Joe.
I mean, I've watched it. I watched What If. Don't get me wrong, I did. I watched the whole thing, and I liked it. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. But I don't know. To understand a trailer, especially for a big movie like Doctor Strange, which is a sequel to the original, I don't know. To the continuity of the show, I was really hoping that the What If cartoons were going to be standalone films and not really tied to anything, because they are What If, and that's what What Ifs are. Again, I knew what was going on, so I'm not complaining, because I knew what I was looking at screen. I knew that was Strange Supreme, or supposed to be Strange Supreme, and the visualizations of the melted buildings.
Strange.
It could be just Evil Strange. Yeah.
It could just be evil.
The last time I checked, Strange Supreme was not a bad dude, right?
No, it was not at all. But we also know we're going to be getting, as far as we know, 3 to 4 different Stranges.
Really?
Yeah, one of them was released. We're getting Defender Strange.
Yeah.
We're getting obviously regular Strange, Evil Strange, and then I don't know what the fourth one is. So maybe it's just 3.
They were saying that we've probably seen 3 different Stranges on screen in the trailer.
Probably, yeah.
If I can't remember what was what, but I did see that when I was watching other things online. They were basically saying, yes, we most likely seen three different types of
What we
strangers.
saw might not be exactly what we think we saw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is why I love, because I remember watching the first trailer for the first Doctor Strange movie and not understanding what the fuck I was looking at. So I'm like, they're consistent. They're very consistent with this movie, that you got to sit, watch it, and know the history of the MCU, because it's gonna spill into all of this. Because they talked about multiverse in that first Doctor Strange movie, and then I was just like, I'm not getting a fucking multiverse. Look where we are now. Look where we are now.
They joked about it, Far From Home. Like,
they do joke, yeah. So to me, I appreciated how consistent they were. Of, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I enjoyed the first one, so I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this. And they're doing some wild shit, bro. Some real wild shit in this movie.
Do you think these are the ramifications of what happened in No Way Home?
No, this is the ramifications of what's happened since he's become Doctor Strange. This is the ramifications of his bargain with Dormammu.
Right.
This is the ramifications of Infinity War and then Endgame. This is the ramifications of No Way Home. If you're telling me What If is canon, this could be the ramifications of What If.
Wait, what if? Hold on. What ramifications of Infinity War? I thought that was
Infinity
already.
War. No, when he went through and checked 80 billion different variations of it.
Right.
You're going through time to check those, and then you're giving the inkling of, you gotta let it go. Just let it go. Trust me, but just let it go. That means you're altering whatever was supposed to happen by giving him the inkling of, just trust me.
I thought all the events, I thought everything that happened for a reason, and that includes Strange.
They explain that, right? But you have then split something, because in the actual timeline of that, you weren't supposed to say anything. Any information he has, you're not supposed to utilize. But they rectify it to where, okay, fair, it was all supposed to happen. But we know that was bullshit, because you're not going to tell me Loki was supposed to happen. The first thing you look to do is prune the motherfucker when you found him.
Yeah, but
so clearly that wasn't supposed to happen.
I find that more of, if we had a nitpick of what the things that he did, I would probably justify that a lot more than the spells that he cast in No Way Home. The fact that he sent back villains that were rehabilitated, that made absolutely,
But to be fair,
me still doesn't make sense.
To be fair, he didn't rehabilitate him.
I know, but
when he saw it, he just was like, "Oh, Peter, good job," but no one asked you to do that.
We got to send it back. Oh, really quick, because I don't know if any of you asked this question, but I do have a quick question. And this, I think, this is a good one. The spell that he did at the end to make everyone forget Peter Parker, is that just Tom Holland?
What do you mean?
Or does that make everybody in every universe forget every Peter Parker?
Holland. That's just Tom Holland. That's
why.
To be fair,
but the original spell was was everybody though.
No, that was just anyone who knows Peter Parker's
secret identity.
Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right?
Right, but in all dimensions though. But why wouldn't it affect?
Fair though, here's the thing: in those two other universes, very few, if anybody, knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So to them, they're like, I'm fine if no one remembers that I'm Spider-Man.
No, not Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That Peter Parker exists. Remember that's a bigger spell.
No, then that was only to Tom Holland Spider-Man. Because I find it hard to believe Feige was thinking too much about the other two Sony. The other two Sony products. So
I just had one question after all of that. What if he just stayed on Liberty Island?
I thought that too.
The spell happens and he's just like, what happens? The whole fucking world explodes? Like, what's...
Just put your mask on, unmask yourself, and then introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Yeah, explain yourself.
There you go.
Aren't they going to wonder what the fuck they're doing on Liberty Island in the first place?
Exactly.
That's fair. That is fair.
It wasn't a perfect movie. It was not without its, but wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. But who cares? It was just...
I was just about to say that, Pete. The issues were snuffed out by all the goodness that this movie gave.
I wanted to be really nitpicky. I could definitely be really nitpicky with this 100%. Movie,
but if we're being honest, there's not a Marvel movie that's ever been made that you can't be nitpicky about.
There's not a lot of movies in general.
No, you're right. You're right.
A lot of them you could look back at and just go, "This doesn't
even during this movie, there were moments where I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I gotta rewatch it because people are so loud. I can't hear that.
You have to rewatch it. On the second rewatching, I got a little bit more. I got a little more
information. Yeah, because there were moments where people were just yelling in my ear. Like,
but at first viewing, I told you guys already, and Pete, I don't know if I told you, but at first viewing, I can't. The plot hole of Electro being there is just a major one for me, and that's
I remember. Okay, that was one of them. I was
the big one.
Like he doesn't actually know who he is.
Yeah, no.
So like, yeah, why are you here?
But, yeah,
I agree with Juwaan though. The thing is, there were so many good that kind of outweigh. But here's my other issue, and I'm definitely in the minority here. But this is also happened on the second rewatch. I said to myself, this is what I said. If I took Toby and Andrew out of the equation, would I have liked this movie as much as I did? Or would I have liked this movie? And the answer is no.
Oh, okay. My answer is 100% yes.
No.
Unequivocal.
I don't because think it's the same movie without them.
Without them, it's not. Well, I mean, that goes without saying. It's definitely not the same movie without them. I mean, because they and plus they weren't just a cameo; they were in it for like 40 minutes.
Right. That's what I mean.
The main reason I felt that is because I asked myself, if they did Serpent Society and not Civil War, could I ever picture myself enjoying a Captain America movie versus the fucking Serpent Society? And my answer is always yes, because Marvel usually only has 1 to 2 movies that I always look back and go, no matter what you did to this movie, it's fucking horrible. It would just still be as bad as it was, right? That's 2 out of what, fucking 50 that we got now? So I'm like, I find it hard to believe that if you remove them, you still couldn't have given me a cool enough story that I could have walked out satisfied to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to me, I find it hard to believe that
I never, ever.
No, you're not changing the story though. Remember, I'm just saying pluck them out. They're not the main star. They're not the main cast. So
then if you pluck them out, plucking the villains in doesn't make any sense. The villains are only there because your idea was to bring in the other two. So you do have to alter.
Everything changes.
Yeah, but remember,
you have to alter it.
Remember, you literally only had 2 villains. I mean, yeah, Electro also had big parts, whatever, but Sandman and Lizard weren't really there.
Yeah, they were side characters.
Yeah, no, that's 100% fair. But I'm saying the whole purpose, like if you take those 2 out and you just have Toby fighting them, it makes no sense. Then I say, well, why not just create your own Sinister Six?
Yeah.
Rather than bringing them in. The whole point of bringing them in was for the nostalgia of bringing back the 2 OGs. So you at that point would then have to change it. And if they change it, a lot of the things that might have bothered you, Joe, wouldn't bother you because they wouldn't be there. So that's why I'm saying if they weren't there, the story has to change. And in that respect, I would have accepted whatever they gave me because again,
I still think this is the best
movies.
I still think this is the best Spider-Man MCU film that we got. And this is one of my favorite MCU films. No, best Spider-Man MCU film. Not best Spider-Man film, but best one we got so far out of the Holland films, I think.
I got you.
I do. Yeah. I agree. And because also too, it had more emotion to it. Right. Take Toby and Andrew out, Aunt May dying, which I agree with P. I did not see coming. I had no idea that was fucking coming. I didn't cry though, which was weird. And I don't know why, because I usually tear like a baby when it comes to like that.
Yeah, you're heartless.
I teared up more. I told you, I teared up more at Zendaya and Tom's performance at the end when he was saying goodbye to them.
Yeah, no, that was very.
That hit me harder. And then also when he's seen them in Peter Pan on Manhattan Avenue in Greenpoint. But no, when he went there, and he wanted to say more to them. But he saw the little cut on her head. He saw how they were, and he's like, "No, they're better off without me."
Right.
And I felt that.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I came out of this movie thinking this: Toby is still my favorite. He is. Toby will always be my favorite, and that was and I also think it's more if you're older. It was the first movie that you were introduced, whatever. But Tom is Spider-Man in my eyes. His charisma the way I mean, he does his own fucking stunts. I mean, he is Spider-Man. He's the epitome of Peter Parker. He's got the age, he's got everything down. But I just hate that a lot of his movies, and I told you this too, are MCU weighted down. You know, this movie made me appreciate Andrew even more now. And it made me appreciate the simplicity of the Sony Spider-Man films, how they were just, and I know you said, well, now moving forward, because he's got his the memory of everybody wiped up, he's got nobody. Now he can be that grounded friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But again, we're already past 3 films now. I always wanted the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without the fucking cameos of Iron Man, the cameos of this one, Doctor Strange babysitting, which also too, that also bothered me too, a little bit more than the second time around. They really did make Doctor Strange a bumbling fucking idiot in this film. Like, he was bested by geometry. Come on. He is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, remember, he wasn't bested by geometry. That's just how Peter escaped. That's how he was able to escape.
But he was made to almost look like he was pointless in this film, you know, I mean, you couldn't power him up, because then it wouldn't be believable that Peter was able to stop him. I know, but then you also gave, and I said, I hope they build on it. It's not just a fucking plot device. You gave somebody that had you never set it up at all in any of the other films. Now all of a sudden he's opening portals like it's nothing. It literally does take away from Doctor Strange abilities a little bit. You're giving a kid that has no knowledge of anything, no experience or no practice, and he's opening up fucking portals. I didn't like that part. I actually hated that part.
I was fine with that because they set it up literally like 20 minutes
only with the line though of him having tingles in his hands.
But we know opening up portals is something you learn. Like, that's not like Doctor Strange had to be like 15 years in to be able to do that. That's like literally like one of the first things they teach you is how to use a sling ray to open up portals.
But he didn't get taught. He just did it.
Sling ring, sorry. Because it seems like he's just naturally magic. He's just naturally is
apparently it's in his family. I
runs in the family.
I didn't even hear that line. So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
But there's ancient artifacts on the wall too, right?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm never against how they started, because that is Spider-Man. As much as it is for Spider-Man to be alone and just your friendly neighborhood guy, Spider-Man interacts with the fucking Avengers and all Marvel characters so much. It's hard for me to believe you're going a course of his 3 movies and you don't interact. Was it necessary? No. But each movie, they make it so known that he's not reliant on them. And that's why I said it doesn't hanker down. Again, I told you, he defeated Vulture, not even with the suit that Peter Parker, that Stark gave him. That was showing you he's not reliant on them. But to have them and not utilize them, that would be idiotic.
But he's still relying on Stark, though. He's still relying on
my problem is we had 5 movies, him alone. I want to see them in the MCU with other fucking characters. That's all I'm used to. Like, yes, he's alone a lot, but we already see 2 different versions of Spider-Man fucking alone. Absolutely alone. I want to see Spider-Man with the other heroes. Or what's the point?
We got that. We got that in Civil War. We got that in Avengers.
One time?
Yeah, one time.
We got that in Avengers Endgame. We got this Avengers Infinity War.
Endgame was literally like the last.
Go back and watch Toby's movies if you don't like it.
I did.
I just, to me, like I said, you stressed it, and he kept saying the entire Homecoming, like, Mr. Stark, this is not what, like, I want to be just this. In Far From Home, he's saying it the entire time to Nick Fury. I just want to be a regular kid.
I want to be a regular kid who got on the phone, called my $1 billion friend, had a jet pick me up, built a new suit with the machine that's, what do you call it?
Fabricator.
The fabricator that just built, they can do whatever you want. That was, again, in this film that helped them build and fix the villains. That's what I'm talking about. Peter Parker is brilliant on his own. He can manufacture things. He can build things on his own. But he doesn't need Stark technology.
But the equivalent of what you're saying is like, all right, Dick Grayson is Nightwing now. Like, all right, go be Nightwing and never, ever, 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 ever utilize the fact that Bruce Wayne is your best friend.
He was
like, I don't. I don't like the idea of that. I like the idea of Dick Grayson's in some trouble. Bruce, I need help. I like the idea that you could fall back on that, but they never made Stark more than he needed to be in that movie.
But you're talking about a sidekick now. But now you're talking about one sidekick.
That's what Spider-Man was to Stark, essentially. That's how he was brought into the MCU. He was
Spider-Man. I know, but that's my point. Spider-Man's not a sidekick. Spider-Man is one of the strongest superheroes there are.
And I get that, but now we have that. That's what I'm saying. If we never got it, you'd be making a very compelling argument. But now we have it. And now we know going forward, we don't really have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about weighing it down or anything like that. He's completely solo. But to have it in this world and not utilize it, especially with a character who interacts with these characters more so than any other character, that's a waste. That's a complete waste. Excuse me, that's a complete waste. So to me, I like him being able to say, I have friends I can call on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, you know? But each one of these movies ended with Peter doing it alone. And that's why I say I don't have a problem with it. If Homecoming ended with him and Stark taking down Vulture, I'm with you. If No Way Home ended with, not No Way Home, if Far From Home ended with him and another Avenger or him and Fury taking down Mysterio, I'm with you. But the fact that he has consistently done it alone lets us know that the essence has always been there. But you needed a maturation because you've done something different than Toby, different than Andrew. You started him young as fuck, like super young. So I'm like, I do like that there was a growth period. He learned how to work with the team. He learned how to work with the Avengers. Now it's now you got to take everything you learned and apply it. You're your own man now. You got no money to fall back on. You got no Happy, no Stark, no Pepper, no Aunt May. Do it. Can you do it now? And now that's why I'm saying you've gotten us to the ultimate growth of Peter. He can't grow anymore as a character. Now it's just about what cool shit can you do? Can you give us the Venom suit? Can you give us Kraven? Can you give us the Sinister Six? So that's why I say now, beautiful. This was perfect. Because now he is the person he was always meant to be. And it took that growth, that development to get him there. Now he's there. Now what you say you wanted, now we got it.
Yeah.
So we got the best of both worlds. We got what, because again, I grew up like literally I was alive during it, but I grew up watching old reruns of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man
Same.
and His Amazing Friends. That's Spider-Man with other heroes. I'm accustomed to that. It's the same thing, Joe, because I had someone in GVN tell me they don't need DC movies to connect. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So I asked him this simple question. What DC cartoon did you grow up watching? Oh, I was watching Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. Stop right there. You're watching what? Justice League Unlimited. What was that about? Oh, it was about the Justice League all coming together. So why the fuck wouldn't you want that in live action? Why the fuck would you want Superman's over here, doesn't know anything about Batman. Green Lantern's over here, knows nothing about Wonder Woman. Why would you ever want that? Why wouldn't you want it together? So I'm saying Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and just what Spider-Man the Animated Series did, he was leaning on every fucking body in the Marvel cosmos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's what I'm accustomed to, is seeing him interact. And if you're telling me that has to be just limited to just Avengers movies, I would say that makes more sense for Strange interacting with Tony Stark. I don't need Stark in a Doctor Strange movie, but Spider-Man, the kid of the group, I do like that he could lean on the fact of like, yeah, Mr. Stark is a good friend of mine. He helped me make my suit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just with the Justice League. I want to see Batman sitting at a table with Diana, having dinner. I want that. I want Superman to fly by and go, what's up, guys?
I'm not saying that none of them should ever interact. Of course not.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that on you. I'm just saying,
yeah.
I've had a situation of someone saying like, well, I don't really need this. And I only brought that up because I'm speaking to just what I'm accustomed to. And I'm always accustomed to seeing Spider-Man interacting with people. You know what I'm saying? With heroes, not people. With other heroes. You know what I'm saying? There were plenty of times in Spider-Man the Animated Series, he wouldn't have saved the day without Daredevil, without Iron Man, without the Spider-Verse and the fucking stupid ass Madam Web. So he was always relying on help. X-Men, Fantastic Four, he always was. So this was Marvel's way of saying, I'm going to take that, put it in movie form, you know, because it's not episodic and we can just give long adventures of Peter not really interacting. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just limit it to an Avengers movie, well, that movie's not about Spider-Man. It's literally only about the team. I want to see when it's his story, his back's against the wall, and he goes, wait a minute. I do have friends in high places. Hey, Stark, you mind dropping me down my Iron Spider suit so I can save the day? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I like stuff like that. I like that he had to lend on his other Spider brothers to save the day in this. To me, that's what I grew up
I didn't mind that at all. No,
so I'm just more accustomed to that.
All three Spider-Men working together, I loved. That was my, like I said, that was my favorite part of the film. No, I was just saying, when it came to the superheroes that we got in the MCU, for the most part, I'm not saying there weren't cameos. Obviously, we got Thor, Hulk, and Thor Ragnarok and stuff like that. But for the most part, their solo films were solo films, and the ensemble films were everyone together. And I'm just saying, it wouldn't hurt if the one film, maybe even the solo film, maybe the first one, they should have had him by himself. Maybe they shouldn't have had Iron Man in the very first one, and then maybe built on it afterwards. I just thought that it would be nice and to see Tom Holland face things. And I know you're saying by the end of the film, he is facing things by himself, but not without the reliance, like I said, in Far From Home, the reliance on Stark Tech, rebuilding a suit, and or even, like I said, having the Iron Spider suit still. There was just things of that nature that still bothered me. But at the same time, like I said, these MCU films I love. I'm not enjoying them. I do love them a lot. There was some of them are ranked higher on my list, especially this last one. I just would like to see what he can do. And again, if we're getting it now, we're getting it now. I just would like to see what he can do by himself, like the Spider-Man that we see. Even Joel said it. Joel said that we've seen it 5 times already. So we've obviously gotten accustomed to him seeing him by himself until Civil War and the Avenger films.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't like having to be accustomed to that. It's why when the Sony leaks happen and then you get Sony working with Marvel, you're like, fucking finally, bro.
Yeah.
Finally. We've been waiting for this for forever.
Well, yeah, because you want Spider-Man
with their jelly. And now
you want Spider-Man in the Avengers, right?
No, that's
what I wanted.
I wanted
Spider-Man
the first thing in my mind. The first thing
of the Avengers.
The first thing for me was just him interacting with them, whether it's in his movie, their movie, Avengers movie. I just wanted the interaction because I'm always of the mindset of he is the one guy you can do that with. When you come out with Miss Marvel, you don't need that show to have Captain Marvel in all 8 episodes, 6 episodes. That's not how that character works.
No.
That is how Spider-Man works still. Spider-Man does interact with these people so much and does rely on their help a lot. He needed Matt Murdock when that whole identity crisis happened. Mm-hmm. Matt Murdock was doubling as Spider-Man for him. So you relied on him to be able to do that. You needed Reed Richards, like you said.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I need these things. And again, I still to this day believe that Stark was like a non-factor in that movie. He was there as more of like a parental figure. And that was really it. The man didn't suit up not once. Really? Well, I'm sorry, the one time where he put the boat back together. But that was it. He never came in contact with Vulture. None of that. That was all Peter.
No.
That was all Peter.
Look, you're not gonna get complaints with me to seeing Iron Man in the movie. Iron Man was one of my favorite MCU characters. But when the movie first came out and Iron Man was in it in the trailers, I was like, oh, this is great. But part of me too also said, are they playing it safe with adding Iron Man just because they didn't know if they were gonna have the weight? You know what I'm saying? The weight of a new Spider-Man.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
That 100% could be the case.
I also had that in my mind.
It was very welcomed. Yeah. It was very welcome.
No, because I love Iron Man. Hell yeah.
Right. All right, Joel, you're back. Lead us into the rumor mill, man. I'm ready for Pete and Joe to hear the goodness of these rumors.
You sure you guys want?
I think I heard one.
Don't give them the option.
I think I heard one.
You may have heard a couple of them, honestly. Some of these are not that secret, and 2 of them got exposed yesterday. But this is a culmination of everything that's out there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Obviously, and and again, this is legit just rumors and people spouting shit. But some of this stuff is getting backed by people that are legit. So let's hope and we'll see. Basically, is what's gonna happen. So I'll go with the most obvious one. Obviously they're doing some type of Illuminati, like a multiverse Illuminati in this movie.
Okay.
At least that's what's being rumored. And a part of this Illuminati is Captain Carter. So that's one. I think that's out there. That's been out there.
Mhm.
This one I was added a couple months ago, or maybe a little less. But Professor Charles Xavier,
Mhm.
and apparently it's a historic one. So we'll see, because there's concept art to basically back that up. But that can change. Things change over time, especially with this movie with all the reshoots and shit.
Joel, there were six. Were there 6 or 4 people in the picture?
In that picture, the one with Xavier?
Yeah.
I
remember, because I can't remember. I know it was Carter was one, and Professor Rex. I was trying to remember the other ones that were mentioned that were going to be in it.
Well, Baron Mordo apparently is one of them.
Okay.
So apparently he's not our MCU version. He's an alternate universe one.
Okay.
Baron Mordo. And apparently the guy with the long hair is that Mordo. So
okay.
There's also, let's see. Oh, okay. There's Captain Marvel, but the Monica Rambeau version of Captain Marvel. So that might be an alternate universe version of Monica Rambeau. If they still keep her as Captain Marvel, for all we know, they can actually call her by her name. But apparently, a Monica Rambeau will be part of it. Boulder the Brave apparently will be part of it.
Okay.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
What about
That's what I said, Pete.
when I think Illuminati, now I really honestly don't know anything about it, but every time I thought Illuminati, I thought of Stark. What happens without Tony Stark?
Well, I was going to get to that. No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joel.
No.
And this is not something I read or anything like that. I'm literally asking you a question. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Well, still, the point is, this is a multiverse version of the Illuminati, so it doesn't have to be. Yes, Stark is part of it. A couple people are part of it, like Namor and Black Bolt, Xavier, the classic version of that team. Reed. But this version is going to be obviously a little different. They're going to pull some new names and some like, oh shit, like the next one on the list. I don't know if it's real, but apparently the Superior Iron Man will be part of it. In what capacity, I don't know. And then of course yesterday there was rumors of Mr. Fantastic being in it.
Okay.
And not just Mr. Fantastic, the one from the 2005 Fantastic Four, Ian Grufford, that one.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
And the next one being Magneto, Eric Linkshire, but the Fassbender version. So those are the ones that were dropped yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of names being thrown out there. It's gonna be kind of crazy. If this was much, I can't imagine the Doctor Strange movie is gonna be even crazier. So hold on to your butts.
Oh wow.
So I mean, we did see somebody that I thought was Captain Carter in the trailer for Doctor Strange, but then somebody else was like, "No, that's America Chavez." I was like,
"But who's the other
like fucking Captain Carter?"
Who's the other girl? That somebody said it was Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda, but it didn't look like her. When he opens the door, and that's you sure? Because it didn't look like her.
That's 100% Wanda. It looks Elizabeth Olsen's face to me is very imprinted. And that looked just like her. Because the only thing I could say is if it's not her, I find it very hard to believe you put that in the teaser. Whoever it is, if it's not her.
It was a blink.
There's so much that we're talking about rumor wise right now that could have easily been very quickly dropped in there, and they made sure that the only thing we saw is exactly everything that everyone's been hearing since this movie went into production. It was that Wanda was going to be in it, America Chavez, Wong, Mordo, Strange.
Is this trailer on fucking YouTube yet?
No, and they won't release it.
No,
and for some strange reason, no one has it. And
well, I mean, like a leaked version. It has to be somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't even
there's
find
people with like a video camera or whatever, like putting it up. But
yeah,
Jesus, it still looks like shit.
I think if
Juan, do
you're
you know the
Feige,
scene I'm talking about though? Do you know the
Yeah.
scene exactly?
the exact scene where the it looks like a submarine door or whatever opens, and it's the three of them, Strange up front, America on one side, and someone else on the other.
Yeah, like right behind him.
Oh yeah, it didn't look like her, but like it wasn't the best angle
Because she was
Again,
wearing like
I
a
thought it
green suit or something like that. It was something. It was just a
It looked
color that
gray.
Wanda wouldn't wear, like gray or
Uh-huh.
green.
Yeah, it was different colors. I don't know. It was weird. I got to see it again. I was so once, so my eyes could have easily been.
But when I tried to fix on that point, because I've seen it twice, and I wanted to see who that was, I couldn't do it.
No, I agree. It definitely didn't look like her, but like to me,
Who else could it be? That's what I'm asking.
I just named a whole bunch of motherfuckers. It could be.
No, you know why? Because somebody fucking said when doing a breakdown that was Agent Carter. I was like, that's not her either. That's not Sharon.
Why would she be?
Not
there?
Sharon. That's not Peggy.
I don't believe
No,
they would
that's not
give
Peggy.
that. I don't think they would give that in this teaser.
Yeah, there's
I
no
really
way that's Peggy.
I really don't.
I was hoping they'd give us something.
I
But...
don't think they will.
No.
I tell you what, though, Joe. I tell you what. Who you think that might be is 100% what we'll see in the official trailer when they drop that. But it's just it's so much that I believe because they were just trying to get across the point of it's the break of the multiverse. He has to fix it. He might be the fucking reason why it's broken, and this is all the ramifications. So you were just trying to show the players on the board because everyone else would be cameos, right? So you're trying to show the major players: America, Wong, Strange. I'm sorry, go ahead, Joel.
No, and apparently some of the Illuminati themselves, not all of them are Illuminati. Some of them are just helpers of the Illuminati. So not everyone's a member. So I'm not sure if maybe I'm missing people. So there's probably even more cameos we don't know.
Makes sense. So I just saw, and we don't have to talk about it. We can just move on to our last topic before we get out of here. I just saw some interesting rumors about SheHulk.
Okay.
That I thought they seem legit. You ever hear of a rumor that sounds so logical but could be completely full of shit?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say anyone who does not want to hear anything about it, skip ahead, please skip ahead. I'm giving you all this time. Okay. So what I just read was one of the characters in SheHulk that is like a cameo kind of is Wong. And Wong is in SheHulk because he's looking for someone to defend Amelia Blonsky, and that's why he's in the show. Not necessarily as a villain, but he's there because he seemingly does not want to be a bad guy. Or Wong is under the impression that he doesn't want to be. So he's trying to clear his name, is what he's trying to do. So I thought that was interesting. And then I also read that Daredevil is in 2 episodes of SheHulk. Not Daredevil, I'm sorry.
Matt Murdock
is in 2 episodes of SheHulk.
I mean, there's rumors out there that he does dress up in this show.
It would be interesting if he does.
When does SheHulk drop? Do we have a release date for that?
No.
I believe the Wong thing, and I'll tell you why. Because I think I told you this already, Juwaan. A little while ago, somebody was doing a breakdown of the trailer for SheHulk. And they commented on, because when we went to see Shang-Chi, the first thing we said when we saw that end credit scene was when Wong opens that portal, it kind of looks like it could be the raft, right? Because it looked like a jail cell. It looked like something, but we couldn't really make out what.
Right.
Somebody made a comment saying that it's possible because if you line them up, if you squint, it kind of looks like it. But that room where Hulk was testing,
same room.
What's her name? I'm sorry, Jennifer.
Jennifer,
yeah. When he was testing her in that room, it almost kind of looks like that. So that's the only reason why I say it could be Wong. Maybe Wong was taking Abomination there.
Yeah, I want to know what that relationship is. So
yeah,
they explain it there. Cool.
Let me see what else. Yeah, that I don't believe. I don't believe that the rumor of Strange Supreme, Loki, Sylvie, Magic, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Thor, but as Natasha Romanoff, Jean Grey, Agatha Harkness, is apparently in Multiverse of the Madness. And
Multiverse of Madness.
Ghost Rider?
What do I keep saying?
Of the Madness.
Mouth of Madness. You keep saying mouth.
Yeah, I keep talking the Katie Morgan movie. Anyway, yes, Ghost Rider is what I said, Pete. Ghost Rider is what I said. And let me see, was there anything else here that I was gonna read? Oh, Man Bull, Baron Blood, Porcupine.
Are you reading off a grocery list?
No. Apparently, these are
Marvel Legends Series 5.
where apparently wherever Emil's being held, these characters are being held in the same place.
So it is the raft. It's got to be the raft then, right?
I would assume.
Sounds like it, yeah. And apparently Wong has a decent sized role.
In SheHulk?
Yeah. And it says Matt is in 2 episodes. Jennifer takes a case against a superhero, and Matt is the defense attorney for him. They later fight due to a mix-up, but wind up teaming up, and eventually, I don't need to go. Okay. It says they end up sleeping together. I'm like, I don't what?
Let's go. That's pretty accurate.
You still talking about Wong?
No.
This is the Katie Morgan movie.
We're talking about
Matt. You said he's got a decent sized role. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, no. I was talking about Matt. Yeah.
No.
So look,
that's Wayne, not Wong.
Yeah. Oh God, I love you guys. So these rumors sound awesome. I wanted you guys to hear these while we did this show because I thought it was something really cool to talk about. I just sent in the group chat the Defender Strange. That's the figure. That's like that big solo figure that you can buy. And it looks like that might be one of the Stranges we get. I mean, if you look on the side photo of the box, it's actually Benedict, like dressed the same exact way. So I don't think it's just a toy. I think it's probably in the movie.
Legit.
Did you guys already talk about since we're talking about rumors?
Mm-hmm.
And Juwaan, we had mentioned this when we were doing your the No Way Home spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
But it's starting to gain a little bit more traction. Do you guys think there's any validity with the possibility of getting Garfield in the Sonyverse?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
It's possible.
It's very possible. Again, me and Joel argued about this yesterday of the redundancy of having a Spider-Man 3 concurrent to the fact that you still have Tom Holland Spider-Man on the other side, and it's just
I don't know.
Running.
I'm all right. So I don't know if about a Spider-Man 3 because I know that's what's trending right now. I think I like it more the other way that we've said with him just being in Venom's world.
Right.
That's Venom's. That being Venom's Spider-Man. I don't need a Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3 per se, but just the fact that he's the Spider-Man in Venom's world.
I think I prefer for them to end Venom with no Spider-Man, and then us get that exact Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock in the MCU, and let that be the first time Venom interacts with Spider-Man. Because if you do it there, right, and then you duplicate it here, it kind of just feels redundant. Like you just gave it to us. Like we just saw that.
Something's gonna give though. So
something happens at some point, yeah.
So would you rather an Amazing Spider-Man 3 then?
I don't need him to come back. like
I mean, I do feel bad. I honestly do feel bad because
I
I'm
love
with you.
But I gave his movie shit, and it's not fair. It's not fair to him because again, he's an actor. He didn't make the movies, and it's not his fault that the second one was as bad as it was. He didn't give a bad performance, and I absolutely loved him in this film. I did. I teared up when he saved MJ. I did.
I will say this: all the fans that are starting petitions and doing the hashtags, if we've learned anything from Sony, they are more reliant to do what no one fucking asked them to do than to do what everyone is asking them to do. So you're more likely to see what is a new rumor, which is Electro is getting his own solo movie, than you are to ever see Andrew Garfield.
Because we're not asking for it.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my exact point. No one's asking for that. So that means that's exactly what's on their bulletin board for what's coming up next. Electro. Why? Who cares why? No
what kind of drugs is this bitch doing? Honestly.
No. We don't know the extent of what that Sony world is doing when it comes to Amy. Amy is only the bridge from Tom to Marvel. I don't think Amy is hands-on in the everyday things that they're doing with that Spider-Verse over there.
It's
And
called
what sort of
Pascal-
drugs are just in a fucking petri dish at the board meeting table?
It's called Pascal Pictures, though.
Pascal
Say it again.
Isn't it called Pascal Pictures? I'm almost positive that's the production group, Pascal Pictures.
Oh no! Because she's like, you remember how Zack
She's the
Snyder's
main
name is
producer.
attached to everything?
Yeah.
Even though he's not a part of it, because
Okay.
he created those. You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand. All right. So she
He's
doesn't
just a
have
producer.
hands on. They're just using her. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It sounds like her.
I just think she's the point person when it does come to
All sounds like Avi, right? Honestly.
Yes, that's exactly who it is, Joel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly.
And they gave him a huge nod in the credits to No Way Home, by the way.
Did they? I
They
missed
did.
it.
Yeah, they did. Oh, Joel, did I think I told you already. Did you see the McFarlane one? Did I say that to you when you were on the spoiler review? There was a nod to McFarlane in graffiti in No Way Home.
Oh, I don't remember. I
only remember Ditko.
Yeah, I heard there was a Ditko. I didn't see it.
There was a
though, either.
Ditko that's on top of the roof. We've seen that in the trailers, though.
Where he and MJ are laying down talking.
When they're going, when the kids are going back to school for the first time, there's a shot, like an overview shot from camera wise, like in the sky. And I don't know if it's on a train trestle or something, but because it's going towards the school, I guess, to show us the scenes in the school. And in graffiti, it says McFarlane. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what and it would make sense if it was in there. I'm almost positive that it says McFarlane.
I wonder how many other creators might have had their names hidden somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
I saw someone point out, what's his name? For the guy who did Superior Spider-Man. What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, come on, guys.
I can't think of his fucking name. I know.
But I was just watching Into the Spider-Verse, and when the father, I'm pretty sure it's when the father goes to use his cell phone, right? I forgot who. Somebody pulls out their cell phone to call somebody, and one of the names in the address was Steve Ditko or whatever his name is. Is it Steve?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I remember when Flash did something like that with the Justice League members, where he was in an alternate world and on the phone was literally the names of the Justice League. I was just like, oh, that's fucking awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And Slot.
Dan Slot.
Yeah, his name I think appeared somewhere in there.
All right.
But yeah. So these rumors are hot. I'm loving them. I'm even reading here that apparently Abomination is mainly in human form in this, which does make sense because when you bring the actor back
for a
role that's just a monster, you kind of do feel a little bit like it's possible you might human.
Does he revert back to human? I don't know. I didn't know. Does he revert?
No,
never. That's why the last time we saw him, he was in Shang-Chi off. He looked even better.
Yeah. The only reason, Joe, that it makes sense here is that you've stressed that Bruce can go between the two. Okay. So it makes sense that you find a way for him to go.
Oh, maybe he did it for him.
That's what I'm saying. So
he probably helps him. That makes sense. That does make sense. I wouldn't mind saying. But what did you say again, really quick? Daredevil sleeps with Jennifer Walters?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think that's comic accurate too.
It's on par. Yeah.
Good for him.
Also,
Matt's a whore.
Matt's a slut. Yeah,
Matt is a whore. Matt is a blind whore.
And look, as far as we know, maybe there's no Karen Page, so Matt has to find somebody. There's no Elektra. There's no Karen. He has to find somebody.
We don't know what's canon yet. So
he just better make sure. He just better make sure because he's blind that he's not banging Bruce.
There's got to be a way difference.
I have to imagine that before anything goes any further, you could feel a peck or two and go, this is larger than I think a woman's arm should be. Like, even a SheHulk woman. Like, Bruce, is this you? And it's like, damn it. How'd you know?
You feel so green. You feel so green.
Yeah, and then this is where I completely don't trust whatever this rumor is. It's telling me Sakaar is possibly in this somewhere, and I'm just like, now you're getting into territory I don't need. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard that too. I don't know if it's real.
Why would Sakaar be in there?
Because it's Hulk's son. So they're saying at some point we're getting Hulk's son, and it's like,
wait, what?
Apparently, This
Who'd he
show
bang?
is gonna
Don't
set
ask
up.
questions, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We weren't on that planet.
Jeff Goldblum?
Probably.
Ooh,
That's probably
Valkyrie.
exactly
As long as they explain it, that's
Valkyrie.
weird.
Well, no, here's why. So he was Hulk the whole time on that planet. So
Yeah.
who can he mount that he wouldn't break?
Right, we
I
don't
think
know.
we're assuming that he mounted someone there.
Yeah,
a lot of
obviously.
this. Yeah, a
It's
lot
going to
of
be a custody battle, I'm assuming.
right. That's why he goes.
Does Hulk have a son in the comics?
Yeah, Scar.
The car.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Same character.
Yeah, same person. The one with the sword. I know you've
Yeah.
seen him before. The one with
Yeah,
the
long
sword.
hair and shit.
Wait a second. So
Looks
this
like a hulked out
person, are we
Conan.
talking about Sakaar the planet?
No, Scar, is it?
Yeah,
I thought
Scar.
I thought it was Sakaar, so I thought the planet was like a hint to like
what his name
that's
is.
his son's
I'll look it up.
I think it's SKAAR.
It
Okay,
is.
so Scar.
SKA. Scar.
And he looks like a hulked out Conan,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly,
Like long ass hair and shit.
100%. And
Yeah.
if you want to offend Pete, you can say he just looks like a hulked out He-Man. If you want to upset Pete.
So wait, is he always in?
It's not-
Is he
it's not
is he
inaccurate.
tiny and green?
No, he's big.
No, he's
Oh, he's
just
big
big
and
as his
green.
dad. He just uses a sword. He doesn't rely on his fist a whole lot. He
He's
uses
a gladiator, so he's like.
Right. Yeah.
Rah.
Again, no one needs to see any of these heroes' children.
Well, apparently, this movie sets up a World War Hulk movie. That's a rumor too. We've heard that rumor.
We've been hearing that rumor for a while. We've also been hearing. I almost said Billy Bob Thornton, but it's Beta Ray Bill. So hopefully we don't get Billy Bob Thornton.
Hopefully we don't get Billy Bob Thornton as Better Ray Bill.
That's what I meant.
Speak for yourself,
That would
Joe.
be an interesting
I would
cast.
love Billy Bob Thornton.
No, being as Beta Ray Bill, but with the speech thing that he did, or what was the movie? Not Sideways. What was it called?
I don't know.
Sling Blade?
Sling
I
Blade.
just
That's it.
know- I just know if Billy Bob
He's
Thornton's
got
anywhere.
to play that character as Beta Ray Bill.
I just know if he's anywhere in the MCU, I just need someone to play something, and all you hear is "Make me feel good."
That's Monster. That was
That's
make
all
me
I need.
feel good.
Yeah, that's
Make
all I
me-
need. That's all I need to complete that.
That is great.
I really
That is
I'm gonna have
great.
nightmares now.
I love that reference, Juwaan. I love
Bro,
it.
I'm telling you, man, there was no one luckier than Billy Bob Thornton. You
Man, that
had a
guy,
movie
dude.
where you sleep with Holly Berry at the same time you're dating Angelina Jolie. There was just
Awesome.
no one cooler than Billy
Awesome.
Bob freaking Thornton. I will
Awesome.
forever love that man for that. That's dope.
That scene was forever on rewind too. I'm telling you right now.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I even found a way to try to put something to cover Billy.
But it's also until she starts saying "make me feel good." I'm like, do you have to speak?
Please stop, dude. You
Please shut
guys
up.
gotta stop that.
Bro, that's the name of this
Really getting
episode. That's the
disturbing.
name of this episode. Make
Do
me
it,
feel
Juwaan. Do it. Make me
That's
feel
the name of
good.
this episode. Trust me, I already have it in my notes right now. All right, so let's end it off here. Let's talk. The last thing we're going to talk is our top 3 Christmas movies in the spirit of the holidays, but it has to be geek related.
Yeah, I saw this topic, Juwaan. I have no idea. I'm gonna I'll let you
already
guys
know
go.
Number 1, but you already know one of them, Joe. It's going to be
That's- is that-
everyone. It's going to be
but
everyone's
that's-
top 3.
Is that considered geek though?
Batman?
I'm stretching the limits of geekdom right now, so I've
You
Tell you
mean
right
Batman
now.
Returns?
Batman
Batman
Yeah,
Returns.
Batman Returns. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's geeky.
We got options: Batman Returns, Iron Man 3, No Way Home. Technically,
no
yeah.
one's gonna mention Iron Man 3, Joe. No one.
I'm just saying it's an option.
right.
Yeah, I'm just-
It
You
is an option,
utilize
but
it.
It's really not.
Utilize
Just, but
it.
you know,
it
is what it is.
You know what? Let's just go 1. Let's not go 3. Let's just go 1. Okay, let's just go 1.
Batman Returns is all I know.
No, go first, and Joe, go Batman Returns. Go ahead.
No, I don't want. That's too easy. You guys go first. I can probably think of something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Iron Man 3. And the reason
Whoa.
I'm going Iron Man 3 is I gave it a rewatch.
Me
In
too.
Iron Man 3, I have the same problem I had with Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's a good movie till you get to the final act, and then you kind of go, oh, ugh. But the rest of you was pretty good, but this was just fucking abysmal. Pepper gaining powers, and then you very briefly explaining how she no longer has the fucking powers. Like, a lot of that was just, ugh. Just fuck, ugh. But you gave me the Iron Legion? The Iron
Yeah.
Legion. You
That
gave me
was
the Iron Legion. That was really dope. I don't like any of the fucking suits you picked out, though. None of them were cool. They were just essentially utilizing them like how how all girls assume boys play with toys, where you just do this all the time, and it's just like, I don't know who you ever saw.
That one and that one.
Besides the villain, obviously, because there was a weak villain. We can all agree that was like, not only not using the right Mandarin, but also Killian being whatever he was.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest disappointment with that film was how clunky the suits were and how easily they just kept falling off of him. That's the only. That's actually why I didn't like the film as much as I did. Take that out. I didn't think it was that bad of a film. It's my second least favorite Marvel film. So there's at least one more that I liked less.
I will take no Thor Dark World slander here. None.
I'm with you, Joe. Iron Man 3 over Thor Dark World.
Yeah.
Right, well, clearly the two of you's opinion doesn't matter here. Anyway.
Thank you.
No, I was offended by the lack of aim. I'm just like, how do you disrespect aim like that? How did you not set up?
Oh, I thought you meant.
How did you not set up what?
I thought you meant him in the bathroom. The lack of aim.
There was some of that. But I'm like,
I thought you meant the clarity of the script, lack of aim.
Which, by the way, I love that No Way Home gave a shout out to early 2000s Happy Hogan.
Yes.
With the long hair. That was pretty awesome.
That was hysterical when they showed that photo.
At least they got my good picture.
Good picture. Happy, you should never look like that again.
That was great.
Look, I thought he was looking for a briefcase when I first saw Iron Man 3. Like, is this Pulp Fiction or is this Iron Man 3? Like, is there a Big Mac going to be mentioned here or a briefcase or something? But no, Royale with cheese. But no, that was Iron Man 3. I do think is more respectable than I ever gave it. But that third act is just
the villains are weak. No, that's really the biggest villain of the week. They set up
the third act gave us the Legion, the suits coming.
That was cool.
That was the only cool thing about that.
Yeah,
then he blew them up.
That was it.
Yeah.
And also, some characters are just meant just for the movie. I get it, no problem. Not here to really elongate it, but I really thought they were setting something up with that kid. I really did. It makes sense today because we're getting Riri and whatnot. Like, okay, no problem. I get it. But I really thought Iron Lad was supposed to be coming out of that.
Well, they doubled down with Endgame.
I was surprised.
They doubled down with the kid in Endgame. He was there at the funeral.
Well, no. Once I got to Endgame, it was very clear that they weren't going to utilize this child in any capacity. So I accepted it there. But in Iron Man 3, I'm like, it was just such a weird route to go. I was just like, okay, well, you're setting something up. And when they didn't, I was just like, oh, okay. I thought you were. I thought that was where you were going, but okay.
He just needed someone to play off for most of the movie. That's really what it came out to.
No problem. I accept it. I 100% accept it. But I was sitting in that theater just like, in credit scene, he comes into Stark's, he flies out to Stark and Stark's showing him things. And when you see him sitting on the couch talking to Banner, I was just like, oh, all right, okay.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right, okay. Yeah, this is a waste. I think I appreciated Captain America's in-credit scene of turning the chair around more than I did that fucking therapy shit.
I agree.
That was the worst, easily the worst post-credit scene.
It was.
But it was just like, what was the whole point of this? What was the whole point of this? But Joel, I'll go to
the Iron Man 3 is the worst.
Wait, which one are you saying? The Cap one or the Banner one?
The Banner one is the worst.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'll take the Cap one.
Cap one's at least funny.
It was. It was frustrating, but I laughed my ass off. You dick.
Yeah, I accepted that more.
They trolled us.
Still to this day, I don't understand what you were aiming for by having Stark on the therapy couch talking to Banner, and he's like, "I'm not that kind of doctor."
It was a throwaway line, and it was a throwaway scene, and the movie was a throwaway movie. So we can do
that. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. All right, Joel, what are you going with for your holiday movie?
Oh man. I made this a good choice, in my opinion. It's not like there's a lot.
Now, also keep in mind, if you guys want to go animated, you can also. Animated counts. It just has to be geek related. It's not privy to just live action.
No, I got
if that
one.
helps at all. I'm just saying if that helps at all.
I got a live action.
You got live. I mean, Batman Returns is an obvious one for fans of the Bat and Christmas. Fuck, I can't think of many more. You know what? I know there's a list somewhere, so I'll get to it. But I'm gonna go for Batman Returns because that's the only thing I can think of at the moment. And it's one of the better ones, honestly. I love Batman Returns. So not a bad setting. It was snowy and the villains were what was it called? The Red Triangle Gang, some shit.
Yes.
So like I remember most of that movie. I could probably do that word for word, like the first one. But yeah, it was a big part of my childhood, and he literally, I think he blew someone up in that movie. Respect.
He did. Nothing says Christmas like setting a man on fire and then just leaving him.
Yeah, he put the devil on fire, and then the fat dude he took his bomb, put it basically on his chest.
Listen, there's a lot of snow on the ground. If he couldn't figure out the stop, drop, and roll, well, he wasn't paying attention in school, and that's how he became a criminal.
That's it.
I give no fault to Batman. I'm just saying, when people kept saying Batman's never killed in movies, I'm just like, I don't know what movies you've seen. Batman's done nothing but comic.
He didn't kill him. The fire killed him. And he could have put it out himself.
All
true. His stupidity killed him.
Fair. I don't think that's how a courtroom would see it, but fair. Very fair. Yeah,
I never passed the bar.
That movie, alongside, because I told you I had the VHS for that when I was growing up, but that movie in Kimberly is Kimberly from Power Rangers is how I knew what true love looked like.
God.
Seeing that woman and then seeing Kimberly was just like, I like what I'm saying. I like this. Like, how can I get more of that?
It wasn't nasty burn he put on her arm.
It was. That was though. That is for sure. And I remember saying to myself, like, man, Catwoman is awesome. And I remember my stepdad telling me, like, well, they're coming out with a Catwoman movie. I'm like, what? I'm like, who? And they're like, Halle Berry. And I'm like, what? Okay. I remember sitting in that movie and we both wanted to throw up. He's like, what the what is any of this? What am I watching?
Yeah.
That was the first Elseworld that we've ever gotten from a DC, because it literally had nothing to do with literally anything.
Such a miss. She wasn't Selena Kyle. She was
such a missed opportunity. Can you imagine Halle Berry in that Michelle Pfeiffer suit? Oh my God.
Imagine Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, imagine Halle Berry done right. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, Michelle Pfeiffer is still hot to me. I don't care. She's
no, but I'm saying it's Halle Berry, though.
No, the point of me saying that was put Michelle Pfeiffer today back in that. I'd love it. I'd have no problem.
All right. Sure.
I was like, ew, that's someone's grandma.
Whatever. There's gilf porn. It's out there.
It sure is.
Hey, Marissa Tomei is almost pushing gilf status.
True.
No,
very true.
Marissa Tomei is the only human being outside of Paul Rudd that if you ask anyone randomly how old they were, they would never get it right ever.
I can't. There's no. I don't, and I really don't. That's the truth. I really don't know how old she is.
Jared Leto's like that too.
He is, because I swear Jared Leto.
Jay Leno.
When I first started seeing him in movies, I'm like, oh, he's like 30. And I looked up his age. I was just like,
I didn't realize how old he was when he was, started acting.
Jared Leto's older than me, right? What is he? Born in 75, 76? How old is he?
In his 40s. I know that.
He's in his 40s.
He's in his 40s. I know that. It's why his Joker and Ben's Batman.
He is 49.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
That's what I said. It's why his Joker and Ben's Batman matched up.
Because
the ages weren't that old.
Whoa.
And Marissa Tomei is 57.
Ooh.
What?
She's almost 60.
Christ.
Does it say if she's married or not, Joe?
Oh, she's definitely. I wasn't. Unfortunately, I was looking up Jared Leto for some reason. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Juwaan. Why does that even matter?
Yeah.
You're like, right? let's look up hot grandmas, and I'm looking up Jared Leto.
Look, if him as Joker is something that really stood out to you, Joe, I'm not here to judge. Maybe you thought that was hot.
Maybe Morbius does it for me. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe him not having the face and having a face of a vampire is what set you off.
Maybe it was the blonde hair in Fight Club.
There you go.
That also could be it. Yeah. All right. So Joel went Batman Returns. I went Iron Man 3. Joe, what do you got?
I'm gonna go Star Wars Holiday Special. You can't get any more geekier than that.
It's so awful. It's so awful.
God awful. God awful. I mean, I remember liking it as a kid, but there's a lot of things I liked as a kid.
How do you like a movie that the first 15 minutes are in fucking Wookiee?
Yeah,
with no subtitles.
it's a tough watch. It is a tough watch. I tried to do it recently. It's not.
Grandpa's literally in his recliner watching porn.
Yeah,
It's not even sugarcoated. So, God, it's. I have one of my best friends makes it like a yearly tradition to find a new victim and make them watch the Star Wars holiday special.
You called it right. It's definitely a victim.
They should do that for prisons. I guarantee you they'll say, you know what? When I come out, I do not want to come back here.
They play this in prison. They definitely do.
My friend Chrissy, honestly, she makes them watch the Star Wars holiday special and The Room, which if you've never seen that,
that's a shitty movie.
Oh God, so terrible. It's so bad.
Is that with Brie Larson?
No,
that's Room.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because Room is actually that was good.
So you're saying you've never seen it, Joe? I'll let her know.
Okay. The Room. Maybe I did. Hold on, Tom.
It's terrifyingly bad.
Really?
Tommy
terrifyingly bad.
Oh, it's bad. It's like
magically delicious.
It's so bad. It's like almost.
Like yes, now I know what you're talking about because
you know what we're talking about, but have you seen it?
No, I did not.
Oh, you need to.
It's
a good drinking game movie.
Oh yeah, don't watch this sober.
Isn't it regarded as like one of the worst films ever made?
Easily.
Oh yeah.
Because of how bad he is. What's the actor? What's his name?
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. They made a movie about it. That's how bad.
Yeah, and he was in it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You need to see it.
That's what James Franco is in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on. You can watch the movie before you watch that movie. If you're gonna watch the movie.
Juwan's afraid because he's like, I've never seen it either. They're gonna find out. They're gonna make me watch it.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
We will.
So I like that. I like that pick a lot, Joe. That is a really good pick. That's thinking outside the box. I like that.
I try.
What are you going with?
Pete.
Yeah. Pete.
I'm sorry. I thought you were still asking Joe.
No, I'm sorry.
All right. I have to give a shout out, of course, since we're only doing one now. One of them was obviously Batman Returns. The other shout out has to be the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special.
Okay.
Because it's just, I watch it every single year. It was probably one of the only 80s shows with a specific Christmas special. Like the Smurfs did an episode, I believe, but this was, it's He-Man, She-Ra, fucking Earth kids, inexplicably saying, this is where we get that classic Skeletor line. I don't like to feel good. I like to feel evil. It's fantastic. But you guys know how much of a horror fan that I am, and I especially love EC Comics. EC was my very first comic book ever. And in many an EC story and many a Tales from the Crypt episode and even the original movie from 1972, they have the murderous Santa Claus. And in keeping with the murderous Santa Claus, this is the trail that I'm making, Juwaan, just to keep it geeky. My favorite holiday movie is Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Got it.
It is a fantastic film. It is highly, highly rated. It's actually on like 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I can't recommend this more. Basically, we have young Billy here who on his 18th birthday, this hulking truck of a human being takes all of his childhood trauma that he experienced watching his parents be murdered horrendously by a crazy man dressed as Santa Claus, and kind of like an anti-Batman where Batman watches his parents get murdered and he goes to stop crime. This guy watches his parents get murdered and he's like, that's a great idea. I'm going to kill more people. And he dresses up as Santa and goes and fucking kills people. It's fantastic. He impales one of the best death scenes of the 80s. He impales a woman on a set of deer antlers. He just picks this girl up and just says, naughty, and like, because he's crazy. Like, he doesn't really have a stellar vocabulary going.
I'm getting that. Yeah, I'm for sure getting that.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite 80s movies.
Is it a deer or a reindeer? Is it a reindeer or a deer?
It would be really cool if it was a reindeer.
If it was a reindeer, yeah.
Like a super powered reindeer, like Rudolph.
It's
Bro, when she said that, I'm just like, oh my goodness. America does not paint Russia as smart, ever.
So great.
Anyone that's Russian, America always goes,
we better get more of that tomorrow. We better get more Yelena tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, we're going to get more Yelena tomorrow. You don't have to worry about that. But fun fact really quickly for our audience out there, we will be breaking down the finale of Hawkeye tomorrow night, the season finale, but also Matrix comes out. So sorry,
Yeah, I know.
we won't get a review for that till next week from our channel.
I might watch that at midnight, actually.
It's midnight because I'll be watching that shit
If
tonight.
it is midnight, if they drop
I
it
think
tonight
it's
at
3
midnight.
a.m. I think it's 3 a.m.
Shit.
That's usually what Warner does. Their release.
Stupid West Coast.
What was the thing we were talking about not too long ago? Remember, Juwaan? We were
Sinking
all
California into the sea.
and I said, I wonder if they're gonna drop it at midnight here.
Oh,
and
you
they
were
ended up
talking
doing it?
Halloween. You were talking Halloween. That was
okay.
Peacock. Yeah, you were talking Halloween. That was Peacock.
Okay.
HBO does it just to respect
At 3 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll watch that tomorrow then.
All right. So last question I got for you guys, because this is hilarious. Into the Spider-Verse is sitting at 97%. What do you think is sitting at the lowest for Spider-Man movies?
Oh,
Pete,
I already know.
take a guess, Pete. You're muted, Joel.
The Japanese Spider-Man movie? The Japanese Spider-Man?
Nope.
Where he gets like the mech?
Nope. Joel?
Wait, is it from the 9 films that we know, or is there another film that I don't know?
It's from the 9 films that we know.
Spider-Man 3.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, no?
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3, Joe, you said? What did you say,
Yeah.
Joel?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Joel is correct. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is at 52%.
Okay. Rightfully
Spider-Man 3 is at 63%.
so. Okay. All right.
And those are the two worst ones easily.
Yeah.
Easily. But I just found it interesting that Into the Spider-Verse was at 97.
Did either of you guys get suckered into it? I mean, I didn't get suckered. I wanted it anyway. Did you guys get this for the popcorn stuff?
That is so awesome. I would have got
First of all,
popcorn if they had that.
That is a fucking bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
But no, I did get tricked into, and I say tricked because when I was getting my popcorn, the guy said, well, would you like these? One of them I got with Joel. When I went to go see The Last Jedi, I got
those.
Kylo Ren 10. It's a complete Kylo Ren 10, and then I did get Avengers Endgame 10.
Oh, it's nice.
So this is the Force. What is this one? This is the Force Awakens. This is the Last Jedi one. I
gotta
got
go with you, man. My dude don't got
Jedi
shit
one.
like this,
Hold on.
yo.
Hold on.
Rogue One with the Death Troopers, and then I think this one is fucking Solo. I'm pissed off because get this, and I thought they were gonna do this for the No Way Home too. We obviously see the movie the day before it comes out, right? We see it the Thursday before it comes out on Friday. For the Rise of Skywalker, they said fuck you to the people that saw it on Thursday. They didn't start releasing the tubs until the next day.
Wow.
That sounds about right.
That's a dick move.
Welcome to America. So this is the only reason why I got it, because that is the greatest motherfucker to ever.
I like
be
that
in
one.
Star Wars.
That's cool.
That's my. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is Rise of Skywalker, not Last Jedi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, I didn't get a chance to get that because they didn't fucking.
And then the
Have
one
you
I
looked
got
on eBay?
Well, we're together.
No, I didn't.
Avengers Endgame.
I didn't go that far, but maybe I
That
should.
is so cool.
But this came with the cup too. I got the cup as well, but it's him in the black suit.
That's dope.
I want one.
Yeah, they didn't have any when me and Joel went to the theater to see Spider-Man. It didn't look like they had any.
So they didn't. So here's the thing: when we went there, they normally have them out, right? But they were advertised on the screen. So I asked the girl. She goes, "Oh, we're probably going to put them out at 3 o'clock." I said, "My movie starts at 3 o'clock. I'm not going to be online at a concession stand at 3 o'clock when the movie's on." Oh, but the previews. I'm like, that's what you fucking come here for, the previews.
Yeah.
So she had the manager bring them out there right there and then.
Good girl.
Put
Good.
them out there.
Yeah, good. I'm
What
glad
the
she
shit?
understood. I'm glad she understood, because punching someone around holidays, you don't want to
I had
aim.
no
frowned
idea.
upon.
She goes, I didn't know it was this big of a. I didn't know it was this big of a deal. She said, I had people. I actually started a line. People formed behind me. They were waiting for this thing.
Can I just say that is the one line non-geeks always give that I despise. I don't understand what's so important. Shut your mouth and give it to me.
Yeah.
I don't need you to understand my plight. Give
I'm
it.
sorry. Do you not want $50 for this fucking tub of popcorn? You know what? You're right. Let me save my money. Let me not give you.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I paid $30 for that Kylo Ren 10. I still to this day don't regret it, but I'm like, if they had argued me down, I would have 100%. You know what? Keep it. I don't need it. Keep it. But all right, guys, this has been our Figure It Out Before the Holidays. I want to thank Pete. I want to thank Joe. I want to thank Joel for joining me on this episode. We talked a lot of good shit in this episode. This was fun. And Joe, I'll just show you really quickly because you weren't on for this.
Until I pissed on everybody's parade.
My shut up, Joe. My new figure edition was none other than
that's J.K. Simmons.
Yep. But as
I know.
Okay. I don't need the audience thinking I just got a random figure of
That's the guy from Juno. That's the dad from Juno.
No. This one's from the Miles movie where he was a drummer.
Wait a minute, that's Commissioner Gordon.
Yes, it is. You know what's funny? He'll probably look exactly like that. Bald, sideburns, and mustache. That's exactly how he look. But all right, guys. So
really quick, because I didn't get a chance to show mine off. This is my Christmas gifts. This is Biff Tanner.
Oh,
Biff
shit.
Tanner.
I was just
Cool.
gonna say, I'm like, that looks like the shit from Back to the Future.
Yeah. So that, and it's got the Gray Sports Almanac from Back to the Future 2. And then of course there's no, because I don't have him yet. There's no Back to the Future set complete without Doc.
Nice.
No, there is not.
So there he is.
yeah, we would
That's
have
it.
no Rick and Morty without that man. So
Exactly. Yeah.
high praise.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, I want everyone out there to have an amazing holiday, and I say holiday based off of what you celebrate.
Right.
Have an amazing holiday, but please make sure you stay tuned for our review of the Hawkeye season finale, and head over to Just Your Average Joe, because on Thursday they will be breaking down both Hawkeye and
SpiderMan No Way Home. Yeah.
Right. So make
And
sure you
then
get there.
also too, sometime next week, and I would love to have you guys on too. If Pete and I'll try to do it at night. Because this Thursday is I'm doing these early shows, so I know they're gonna be too early for you guys. But I do want to at one point next week, if I find the time, to rank all 9 films.
Oh, for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
So you are including Into the Spider-Verse.
I am. No, you have to. You have to.
Okay. Because we were rocky on that, me and you. Because I'm like, well, you have to. It's just too good of a movie.
No, it is. Yeah,
it's genre. Like
I do need you guys to convince me on one thing though, because I'm teetering on one thing, whether to put it up higher or lower. Because it annoyed me when I first watched it too. Is it because Miles is a kid that the villains are super large, or that was just how they were drawn?
That's just how they were.
I think it was just the art style.
That was just how they were drawn. Yeah,
There's a Kingpin.
Yeah.
No, I'm
not
talking
'cause
about
he was a kid.
Goblin is fucking huge.
Yeah, but that's Ultimate Goblin. He's fucking
Right.
awesome.
That's
Oh,
exactly
Ultimate!
how
I didn't know that
Goblin
Ultimate Goblin is big,
Mhm.
was. Huge. Yeah.
and Scorpion speaks Spanish.
Yes, that's
Dom-
Miles Scorpion.
Oh
okay.
yeah, Miles Scorpion.
It's
Okay,
not
I thought you
Gargan.
meant Scorpion.
It's someone else.
That's
I
not
think.
Gargan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then I can forgive that a little bit more. All right. I'll put it back in number 2 then. Number 3. Number 3. I have it in number 3.
I can't wait to do this episode with you. To
Hey.
hear 1 and 2.
Hey, for me to put an animated film in my top 3, that's actually pretty big for me. Yeah.
Me too, actually.
I almost not put it.
You
I
wait.
almost not put it in at all.
You wait till you see where this motherfucker is in my list.
It's number 1. It's got to be number 1.
Fucking 100% it
It's
is.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
100% it's
A
not.
lot of
Wait, so
people
No Way
do.
Home fell? I thought it was at 97 as well.
94.
No, 94.
All right.
94.
Still high.
Yeah, no, that I can see that. I know I was giving it whatever, but I still think it's a really fucking great movie.
Well, if we have anyone like the guy from our YouTube conversation from the other day, he's why it's at 94. Who said he
Oh.
didn't like it at all because of the fans?
Oh, A-Train. A-Train,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's why it's at 94.
Yeah, I don't know what we're.
A-Train is his name?
Yeah. A-Train, I love you, and I thank you so much for commenting, but you almost made that review Wednesday go not Wednesday, I'm sorry, the other day go horribly wrong.
Yeah, because the fan service, first of all, it's not always fan service when we get things that should be in a film,
Right.
or whatever, or nostalgia. But that's what made me like the movie as much as I did. Without the fan service, I don't know. I still think I don't know. But that was his opinion. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I respect it, but
Nothing.
I damn sure don't like it. All right, guys, you have a happy holiday, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Till then, peace.
Face.
Y'all